You're listening to the Snark Tank Podcast, the most diverse podcast that you listen to, probably in all likelihood. Consider supporting us over at patreon.com/thesnarktank, where you can get early episodes every week for as little as $1 a month. Isn't that something?
Hey, look, it's a little dead meme.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 9, I think, probably, of the Snark Tank Podcast. I'm here with, I'm Chris Reagan, I'm here with Tom Sweeney and some black guy. Just quick note before we get into the rest of the episode, there is going to be a bit of an audio discrepancy here. We're in a new space. We are in our living room, which we hope to eventually set up into a permanent podcast setup. Hopefully, when we get enough patrons, turn this into the video set, dress it up a little bit.
Snark Tank Podcast, Patreon. Remember, don't forget that. Thank you.
Yeah, and if you're a fan of the show, like, subscribe, share, review us on iTunes. That really helps a ton with the algorithm and all that shit.
For real, the algorithm is fucked. We appreciate all the support we're getting and receiving, but more support wouldn't hurt, you know?
Yeah.
So just give us more of it. Thank you.
So give me your fucking money, or I will hurt you. I make no bones about it.
Okay,
That's right, sucker.
They're getting a little
no
intense.
bones about it. I
They're-
will crush you.
Now look, okay. I'm just asking for it, okay? And if you don't give it to me, you're gonna give it to me.
You stupid imp.
They're being violent. I'm just telling you the facts of the
You
matter.
negligent.
Like that, it's inevitable.
Like I'm gonna get you. All right.
I will get you.
You can run. You can hide. You can pray. I'm gonna be there.
So there wasn't really much happening over the last week. The only real thing that's happening that I feel even remotely like talking about really is all the shit going on at the DNC. But even then, I don't want to get into that because it just feels so unfunny. It's just frustrating. Yeah. It's just frustrating more than anything else. So I found something a bit lighter, a bit more amusing, something that I think can kind of trebuchet us into different topics.
Oh, dang. Good job, Chris. Look at our host.
The fuck game you been playing, man?
Look at our host, Chris Ray Gun.
I know exactly what a trebuchet is. And that makes me a qualified podcaster.
Trebuchet is something you throw things at with, right?
It's like a catapult.
I don't know what the fuck I said.
It's like a catapult, basically.
I mean, it's
like a catapult, but it's like a
in the
slingshot.
most layman terms ever. Yeah. But so sure.
Yeah, it's like from what I remember, it's like a slingshot catapult.
Okay, I was thinking slingshot. Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
But yeah, so I thought we'd talk a little bit about video game movies.
Okay.
Because it's vaguely relevant. Because the Uncharted movie keeps getting fucking delayed, and they lost like their fucking 800th director.
Really? It's that bad?
It's insane.
Why do you think that's happening? Why do you think that is? Like, what the hell's going on?
I don't
know.
I think it's because it's harder to translate a video game into a movie than it is most things. I feel like it's far easier to turn a video game into a TV show.
Sure.
Yeah, because the TV show has enough length in it that you can do chapters of the game.
You can flesh it out, yeah.
No,
absolutely.
exactly. Like a fucking... Even movies have a hard time like fleshing books out.
Yeah, because books have so much context that you need to read literally.
Right, but like even like a game has like just as... I would argue that a game and a book are like far more similar in the amount of shit that you're absorbing.
Absolutely,
like like The Witcher 3 as a video game is fucking colossal.
Big, very
it's like
big.
Enormous. Like I thought you were playing it, and I thought you were at the end, but you were nowhere near it. And I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
I literally have at least 35 hours into that game, and I really, really thought I was at the end of the game, and apparently I'm not at the end of the game yet. I'm very much so not at the end of the game.
Yeah, I imagine because you're probably doing a lot of side quests and stuff too, right?
I do side quests, but that's not my main focus.
Okay,
it's unnecessary. It's unnecessarily long. There's a lot of things that are just unnecessarily long, and Metal Gear Solid 4 was unnecessarily long.
Yeah.
Stupid, dumb. I don't know how people feel about that. I hate that game.
I like that game a lot, but
Can't stand it.
It's good if you want to just like get some popcorn, kick back and watch some cutscenes.
Yeah, kick back and watch the game. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
It's like a novella, but every now and then you press a button.
I don't know, man. All I know is that this movie is just like in fucking development hell. Like I feel like just most video game movies are cursed with this. Like and the ones what baffled me the most, I think, was like back in the day when they were making a bunch of them in like the 80s and 90s. They always picked like fucking Mortal Kombat or like
Mario.
Street Fighter or like Mario, and I'm like, what the fuck could you possibly do with those narratives?
Well, because
they are narratives. Well, Mortal Kombat has a narrative to it, I guess.
It did. It does. It really does.
I'm sure it does.
In pop culture, right? In pop culture, people, like the things that rise to the top, you know, the cream of the crop that rises to the top. All of that shit is always very just dumb, easy to understand. And now just the studios are like, let's capitalize on it. And so it's pretty easy. And then there usually is like the thing about Mario, that was the weirdest one to me because I was like, what is Mario really about? So this is going to be interesting. And then there's actually a lot of videos about how it became a disaster and how everything went and the directors that they chose. Fascinating stuff. Mortal Kombat, very simplistic. Very, very simplistic. It's like, it's hard to fuck up, right?
But yeah, for the most part.
Oh, hey, tournaments, right? That you have realms, you can't just invade realms. It's it. Okay, so the way that you take over a realm, you have to win 10 straight tournaments. When you do that, that's it. You just win the tournament, and then you can actually invade. Shao Kahn fucking broke the rules, blah, blah, blah. It continues on. And I'm going to say, as far as video game movies, like I recognize that Mortal Kombat isn't a great movie.
I really enjoy it, though.
But it's thoroughly enjoyable. And most importantly, because the most important part about it, the choreography holds up.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing in that is like, hey, is the fighting good? It's pretty good. Like, go watch it.
My favorite part of that movie is when I think it's Shang Tsung just says, "Your soul is mine."
That's great.
That face is still in my mind. I still remember him pointing from the top of the hill, and I'm like, that's fucking dope.
There's a lot of he has a lot of good like one-liners.
Yeah.
He has like say when he's on the boat. And then it's all that weird spiritual shit and like the skull's coming out and he goes, "It has begun." That shit, I use that so many times whenever for like memes, you know, I use that gif or whatever. Or like say, you know, if I'm about to like come over to a girl's house or something like that and you know it's about to happen, send her that fucking...
You send that
shit.
Begun.
Even if you're in the same room, you send it, you text her the meme.
Yeah.
While she's in the bathroom prepping up, you text her that.
I'm pretty, or when I first enter her, then I usually just grab my phone real quick and then I text that to her.
I usually say it's turbo time. That's mine. As soon as I start, I give it a great big. It's turbo time.
I just start singing "It's Terror Time" again from Scooby-Doo and Zombie Island.
You know what's funny? Just a couple of nights ago, I was listening to that song and I was like, me and Chris need to cover that song.
That would be awesome.
I was literally thinking that just the couple of days ago.
I would be totally down to do that. That song's great.
It's a fucking great song.
It slaps. That shit fucking hits.
Oh man, yeah, it absolutely.
I would absolutely do that.
Dude, Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island is fucking
a good movie.
A great fucking. It doesn't make sense. It shouldn't be that good.
It's way better than this. Like actually, as a movie, it's like this movie's kind of good.
It's a really good watch. It kind of goes against literally everything Scooby-Doo stands for.
Absolutely.
But it's pretty enjoyable.
But that's why it's so good, though.
Yeah.
And they do even acknowledge it because there's that one song where they're like, oh, everything's fake. It's all fake news, right?
Yeah.
They have that one song that they're just like tired of like doing the same old thing. And then they're going to the next thing. We're going to this zombie island where it's just going to be a bunch of BS. And it turns out like, oh, these are real dead people. And when I was reading comments, a lot of people were like, this movie freaked me out as a kid. And I guess it didn't freak me out because I've always liked zombies. I always thought they were cool. But there was a lot of kids that were frightened by that movie.
It didn't freak me out.
Yeah.
It was cool. There was one scene that I remember being like kind of creepy, which was like, I think there was like a face in like a mirror or something. Fuck, I can't remember.
Something like that.
It was something like that, but it was like a pretty good like rendition. It reminded me of like the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark books, and that was like, that's creepy. But I was more excited to see it than I was creeped out by it.
For me, it was like weird because I remember watching that movie a ton of times, and I feel like I would always go to the bathroom, and I would go to the bathroom, and it'd be parts where there'd be like the werecats afterwards.
So you just skipped parts of the movie?
No. I thought I skipped or a different movie came on because it was about zombies, and I was just like,
that is a weird twist.
I was like, why? There's zombies, right?
Yeah.
Where are these cat people
and the
coming
zombies
from?
are the good guys trying to warn people of the werecats.
That's what I thought was so cool about it.
So fucking because I was like always.
That's what I thought was so cool about that movie, though. It was like the first time I'd ever seen zombies as like a positive.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I don't think that. I think still even like I can't think of a single thing since then that has tried to do that. It reminds me of like when Destroy All Humans came out. And that was like, oh, you get to play as the 1950s alien, destroying the people.
Yeah.
And it used to be like every other game was like about like defending Earth against aliens.
Yes.
But this one, he just allowed you to just be a dick. I felt like that movie, Scooby-Doo and Zombie Island, was like almost kind of like the zombie equivalent. Not a game, but like it took something that was so unanimously evil.
For me, that was Casper.
Casper?
Because Casper was a friendly ghost.
No,
ghosts also
but
supposed to be
no,
scary,
no.
you know, like oh, ghosts are creepy.
No,
Ooh, they scare you.
there
And
are-
then Casper was like a good guy.
No, but
he's a real swank dude.
There are benevolent ghosts though.
There are, but like I
Like,
didn't
in,
understand
like,
about
lore.
them. I didn't understand about them, and I didn't understand them at the time.
Casper was barely a ghost to me. He was like a fucking like a you know those things inside Super Boo?
Oh my god.
You know what I'm talking about, right? The big white worms
Yeah.
in Super Boo. It reminded me of those fucking things. I was like, this isn't a ghost. It's just some pudgy bitch.
Casper's really respectful. You shouldn't talk about him like that.
Respectful.
Casper is the biggest pushover pansy.
He is a pushover, but he's a good dude.
I couldn't. Sure, but at a certain point, it's like you gotta fucking man up a little bit, dude.
He's
like that.
dead.
That is
He can't man up. He's not gonna age anymore.
Casper is
that
the
is pretty
dumb-
fucked up. Is he like a dead kid?
Yes, he's a dead kid. He's
Casper is the fat kid from It that got stabbed on the bridge and then tossed over, but he died.
God. Oh my god.
That's Casper, and I just don't respect him.
You guys are just fucking demon. And he's not even that fat. It's that his head is real rotund.
Yeah,
He
so
has a rotund scalp. He's probably
Yeah.
Elephant Man's son.
well, so who's to say he didn't? So who's to say? Who's to say really that he didn't deserve what happened to him?
Okay.
If we're getting into specifics here, this rotund-looking weirdo.
We're not gonna.
You ever think about that when you hear about like a horrible murder, someone's bludgeoned to death, and do you ever think about like,
what'd
I
he
wonder what
do?
that person did?
Wait, what was he wearing?
Kind of, yeah.
Like, because we have to think about like, barring like, there's the people like, who was the guy that Zac Efron played in that Netflix thing? I don't know why I can think of
Bates.
Yeah.
No.
Was it
No.
Bates?
Why can I not think of his name? The one of the most notorious serial killers, the handsome guy.
Dahmer.
No. Jeffrey Dahmer is the clown, wasn't he?
No. That's John Wayne Gacy.
No, it's John Wayne Gacy.
I
No,
think Dahmer.
no.
I think it was
Oh my
Dahmer.
god, people in the podcast are gonna lose their mind right now because it's like his name is always coming up.
That is fucking phenomenal.
Chris Hansen?
Can you imagine if Chris Hansen, after all this shit that was going down, like he's been this advocate like against all this horrific stuff and predators and stuff, just catching predators, and then at the exact time he's been doing the same shit, like mirroring them. He he reads the cases of these people and like, oh, this is a sick dog, and then he does the same thing, and so every person he's put in jail, he's done the same thing, and he's been getting away with it.
Gnarly.
So you're thinking of Ted Bundy.
Ted
Bundy.
Bundy.
There you
I
go.
can't believe I couldn't think of it. I thought of Zac Efron.
I thought of Al Bundy from fucking Love and Marriage, just the show.
Married with
love-
Children.
I like calling it
I
Love
love
and
Al
Marriage.
Bundy. Yeah, you know,
Oh my
Al Bundy,
God.
right?
I think that's someone else.
Nah, I think he's right.
I think I know what I'm talking about, man.
If a serial killer, actually, wait, there's a question on the doc that like
Wait,
kind of
wait,
hold on,
okay,
hold on.
gotcha. I have a
There's a,
que- I
there's
think
a
I know what it
question.
is.
There's a question on the doc that kind of fills in. I just thought of this.
I know what he's
Liam
gonna say.
Aston wrote in. He's like, "What loot would you drop if you were killed?"
That's a good question.
It's such an entertaining. I
That's
love
so
that.
fucking weird.
Well, if I was gonna go the comedic and insensitive route, I'd probably drop a gun. You know, like
You would just drop a gun.
yeah, I'd probably drop a gun, like say like a Mac 10. I would drop a Mac 10. Then people would be like, "Oh, sweet, this is kind of racist too." I kind of like this.
I would drop the ability to say the N-word.
Oh, just an N-word
It's
pass.
just like just one pass or a booklet.
No. It'd be like you touch it and then like something engraves into your arm that allows you to go around saying nigga.
You have
That'd be hilarious.
some insignia. It's like a big N.
I got it now.
What about you, Chris?
Probably my wallet.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's really fucking.
That's real mundane.
Yeah, I know.
God, how super imaginative.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I feel like I would like, ideally, to drop just my skin. Just only my skin. Like, you kill me and then my skin is a pickup and you can wear my skin and become me for a little bit.
Like it's a fucking onesie.
Yeah, like it's a
Oh
onesie.
my god. Is it fit properly or like
I used to have dreams, dude. So this is a real dream that I used to have where like my bones and my skin were disconnected, but they were still like, my skin was still on me. And I would be able to like kind of like pull my like finger bones under, like almost like a long sweater where you put your arm like in the shirt like this, but it's your skin. I used to have these dreams where I would just like wriggle around in my own skin and then I would wake up crying.
Okay.
Okay.
At least you would wake up crying. I thought it was, you'd be like, oh, I loved it. And
No.
It's fucking exhilarating.
There are dreams that I would definitely never, if I could like block them from happening again, I would definitely block that one.
I ever told you about my really bad dream?
No, I don't think so.
So,
Is it recurring?
no, I don't dream anymore.
What?
I don't dream anymore. Yeah, I stopped doing it.
Do you smoke a lot?
Not at all anymore.
Oh, okay. Because I don't have any explanation.
I just turned them off. But I had this dream in our old apartment where like I slept in the living room in an old apartment. So what happened was I thought my roommate and one of our friends came in really late and they were making a bunch of noise, and I was like, why are they running around my bed? You know, because my eyes were closed. Because in a dream I had my eyes closed, but I was still awake. So I just don't really care about opening my eyes. So I heard a lot of banging on the door. Then I heard like people running around the bed. I was like, I'm just gonna keep my eyes closed. And I keep my eyes closed. And they started getting loud. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. So I woke up in the morning and I went to our roommate Jay and I was like, hey, did you and whatever her name is come in late and like we're fucking prancing around the bed in the middle of the night? And he was like, what the fuck were you talking about? And I was like, there was like you and a few other people was like running around the bed making a bunch of noise. They were like, no, dude, you were dreaming that. You were dreaming that.
That's such a mundane dream.
No, it's not, because they were loud.
No. What you're saying is you had a dream that people were loud in your apartment. That is such a fucking mundane dream.
Loud around my body, like making noise, like circling me.
Like they're doing some type of fucking
ritual or some shit. And I was just like, I don't
Some
know why.
seance.
I was like, I don't know why they're doing this shit. This is fucking weird. But I was like, all right, you know what? Who am I to tell anybody that they're weird? You know, let me just do my thing.
Wait, so in real life, you thought it was real when you woke
I thought
up
it was
and you
real.
asked them?
Yeah. Apparently, I was dreaming that.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, I see it's mundane enough, Chris, you're right, to where you thought it was real. Like that's pretty fucking, because like, you know, there's the dreams where something crazy happens, you know immediately that it's a dream, but I've had some shit happen. I've done some weird shit in my dreams. Like I don't sleepwalk or anything, but there were times where like I woke up and my shirt is just completely across the room. And I'm thinking, what the fuck did I do? Like I like flung it, like, you know, because
I gotta get rid of this problem.
Yeah.
So like sometimes I've wanted to set up cameras just to see like what the fuck, what do I do when I'm sleeping?
I thought about that too, yeah. Just out of sheer curiosity.
that,
What if you set up those cameras, right, and then something fucking horrifying, not even something that you do, there's like, let's say just like a cat wanders into your room every night and stands on its hind legs
It stares at you.
and just stares at you until like 5 a.m. on the dot, and then it like
And
leaves.
then it leaves as soon as you wake up.
Those are the moments that like I don't wish to know. Like that could
Exactly.
happen. I'm fine with that happening as long as I never learn about it. Like anything even
Like-
close to that.
Like you, what you call it? You're sleeping, and then like you look at the video, and it's just some guy falls through the ceiling, and then his wife comes in there screaming at each other, and they start having a domestic dispute right in the room with you, and you're like, what the fuck? This happened while I was sleeping. But they're silent. They're silent, but they are flailing at each other, and they are signing things at each other that are just absurd.
They're
And then they
signing
leave.
They're
things?
signing,
They're
they're
just fucking
making.
silent. That would be fucking. That'd be dope. Actually, I want to see that.
That's pretty funny.
As long as I don't do anything weird. As long as I don't sit up and I'm a white man, like
Well-
while I'm sleeping, that'd fuck me.
What
bad.
would you drop if you were killed?
Me?
What loot would you drop?
I would just drop. I don't know. I don't know what I would drop.
So we talking about something real? Because I thought your inward pass thing.
My enterprise that was gonna be it, but like.
Oh, right. I thought you were going to say like copious amounts of debt or something.
Yeah, that is copious.
You walk over it and you accidentally acquire all of Sweeney's debt.
Oh,
Accidentally,
shit.
like you walk over and you don't get a chance to pick it up.
It's like-
you
it's-
just grab it.
It's like a fucking trick chest in fucking Dark Souls.
Like, what the
like
fuck?
don't fucking open that one. Don't open that one. It's not good loot.
There's a bunch of signs like in Dark Souls on the floors, like don't walk over that.
Yeah.
Go another way. Go the long way around.
Damn. Can you imagine you acquiring someone's, and then what if they're in the hole like tens of thousands of dollars?
Oh, yeah.
Trillions.
Like they just got to like an Ivy League school, and then they're gonna be paying off hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then, and then you were like, oh sweet, and then all of a sudden now you have to pay it immediately. All of the paperwork is now in your name.
Trillions of dollars.
Trillions.
You get America's debt. Could you imagine that? America's debt to China? You're like, what do you mean?
Like America dies somehow, and then
Somehow.
like someone picks up the debt. Someone walks over the corpse
living
of America.
person of America, and you're like, I don't want this.
Imagine the continent sinks.
And this is like a little floating like money bag over the ocean.
Sick.
It's some asshole.
The one guy that survives.
Yeah.
Some dude on a jet ski like
Oh, fucking sick, bro.
skids over the money bag, and now he's like in the hole, trillions and trillions of dollars,
Feels it.
and he owes China that money, and then China's like,
What do
He
you
feels it.
what do you do?
He
You can't-
feels it.
because here's like they can't even, they have no hope of even seeing that money at that point.
So yeah, what do you like? What could you possibly do?
You're just fine.
Like,
do
what
they
do you
just-
want from me? What do you want from me? I
like,
can't. How do you expect
literally
me?
know I can't. That you know it's physically, literally impossible for me to pay this off. So how do we? How do we proceed? Does China just like? Well, I guess we'll just sacrifice you. I don't.
Like
we gotta
you
do
just,
something.
you go there. Like you don't even try to run away from it. You
fucking
go
feed you
there
bats.
to talk.
You go to
there
China.
like talk. Hey guys, it's me, Billy, the guy that owes you $4 trillion. I understand you guys have been looking for me, but trust me, I've been looking for you. All right. What can we do? What's the middle? You want me
They're
to be an
gonna put you to
assassin?
work. They're gonna like put you in a little hamster wheel.
Oh, yeah.
and then make you power all of like
They're gonna fucking
Wuhan.
You're gonna power Wuhan.
take all the coffers.
You're gonna power all of the air filters and shit.
Oh my
Try to get
God.
the fucking virus out of there.
Yeah,
Try to run it out the freaking country. Dude, that's just, I don't know. That's just so hilarious. Like, it's just not even worth this. Let him be free.
what?
Let him kill him so someone else picks it up. Kill him and drop him in like fucking Germany or some shit.
What are you talking about? Oh, the dude,
Yeah,
the
Debt
dude with the
Man.
debt,
Kill
the
him
debt
and
man.
drop it.
That's his superpower. He's
Captain.
debt man.
Debt man. That's a good one.
He has
Yeah.
super strength because he's able to shoulder the weight of trillions upon trillions of dollars of debt on his back.
Trust me, you do not want this problem. I have so much debt.
That dude would fucking age like fucking Solid Snake, dude, from just that much stress.
Oh yeah, within like days.
He would die. He would die within days. Because hearing that, seeing that, like if someone showed him papers with how much he owed, he would just look at it and then pick it up, walk to the light, look at it again, and die.
You ever?
Die.
Do you remember in Dragon Ball Z when Future Trunks killed Frieza and he like slid in different directions?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what would happen to you the second you saw that amount of money. You would just immediately just slide.
Just, like,
Two halves of
sever.
you would just like slowly slide in different directions, and you would just be like, "I'm done. I can't."
You would try to run away from the debt, but it'd be running away from yourself. So
It would chase you
die.
into heaven.
Dude, that is. I mean, I'm so stressed just seeing like a medical bill or something just shows up.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. I don't know if you could properly react. You know how there's sometimes you're so traumatized you have a non-reaction to things. Like there's people that have something so like tragic or traumatic that they just don't have a reaction. I think that would be the more likely scenario because I don't think your brain would know how to process that shit.
I think your brain will try to kill you because I understand you can no longer live a life. You'd be like, oh, you gotta die now.
I'm like, oh yeah, we're good. Like we've done as much as we can. You know, you were just jet skiing. It was fun.
You're having fun. You were jet skiing over the sunken carcass of America. You know, like it's you were doing your thing, and then this happened. So clearly, I'm at fault because I made you go over there. So sorry, I'm out.
I just had a really horrifying thought for no good reason.
What's that?
You know how like aneurysms just sort of happen with like no rhyme or reason?
Yeah.
You ever wonder if it's like a specific combination of thoughts that your brain just
Why
comes
would
up
you
with?
tell me some shit like this?
Like if you just
Why would you
think,
tell me some
if you
shit
think of like
this?
4 or 5 things at the same time that you're just not supposed to think
It's
about,
like
then your brain just shorts
It's
out.
like a fail-safe in the human brain. That's how people kill themselves instantly.
Oh jeez.
It's like if you put the right pieces together, it'll open this thing up. But instead of opening up a wondrous door, you die. That's it.
That really like fucked me up. Like that just like crawled into my mind for no reason. Were we even talking about aneurysms?
Not even.
No,
What
not
the
at
fuck
all.
were we talking about?
Talking about somebody dying because of the weight of the debt that they
Of
accumulated.
America.
I don't know what about that conversation triggered the stimuli to get me to this point.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe you want that to be real.
You know, for a second we were talking about. I don't even remember how we got into this, but we were talking.
We were
about...
talking about the Uncharted movie.
Oh yeah.
And then we got into this.
Oh yeah, because it went to somewhere, and then it led to the question.
This
about...
whole podcast is basically just how did we get here? Someone. I think somebody commented that. I think maybe even you or like someone.
Someone did.
I saw a tweet that was like, this whole podcast is just the how did we get here.
Oh
show.
yeah, I tweeted something because I said a new episode, meaning that the N word was brought up again.
Yeah.
Always and literally. Fucking what? When we were
Every
talking
episode.
about what you would drop, what loot you would drop, and it didn't even cross my mind till now. You brought it up again, man.
Sorry.
This is you
brought it up again.
It's a theme of the show.
I like it though, and I like how it's not being forced in.
Well, we can get away with it because we have probably the most diverse podcasts on the internet.
We do.
Damn, it's true. A lot of them are very snow-like.
Yeah, they're very very white.
Very powdery.
That means that a lot of the executives, all these heads are gonna be like coming for us because they're gonna like, ooh, we need that diversity clout.
We need those colors.
I accept it.
I'm cool with it because
throw us your money.
Absolutely.
Please, man.
Absolutely.
Like, if you think that we're fucking like underprivileged or whatever your mindset is, throw me that money,
Yeah,
bro.
dude. I didn't live an impacted life at all, but by all means, sling it.
How the hell am I supposed to afford more solid gold rims for my Humvee? How am I going to do that
Exactly.
without your help? We'll get into some questions since we're not going anywhere.
Okay, I have one more question before we go into the questions.
Okay.
Is a serial killer that kills serial killers a bad person?
What, like Dexter?
Yeah.
If you kill killers, are you a monster? Or you're a killer?
Okay, so here's the thing. You're still a murderer, right? You're still objectively a murderer. I think it depends on whether or not you know for sure.
Like if you're a rapist.
It's kind of like death row, where it's like some people are there and they're just like not guilty at all. Like if you know for sure, then I guess it's not terrible. But at the same time, that's like a lot of confidence to put in yourself.
Yeah,
to be like,
I'm right.
Because I don't know, like I always think about the fact that like the people who run for president, right? The people who seek that amount of power are like inherently scary to me.
Yeah.
Because that is a person who believes that although they are a human with every single fault that being a human encompasses, they have the responsibility and, mental fortitude to handle that responsibility of like the most powerful nation on the country.
Yeah.
You can stare at an optical illusion and your brain will trick it into thinking it's moving.
You can
there's no good reason why anybody who is susceptible to that even minute level of illusion should be able to like have control over fucking nuclear weapons.
It's wild because we have think of it like this. We're so flawed. We have blind spots that we fill in the blanks for.
Yeah.
Like right now that I'm looking outward, there's a part of that I can't see. My brain is just like, just feel that should be there. That sounds about right.
Yeah, well...
It could be a whole ass fucking demon standing there.
Yeah, and we wouldn't know. Because we're people. Yeah, we're humans. Like, the way that I think it's like, okay, you can go around killing serial killers, but you're also taking that responsibility.
Like
and you're saying, like, you have to be certain. And even when people are certain, how are you certain?
How are you really
that
certain?
They're certain?
Yeah.
There are people who are certain they're, like, not in padded rooms. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, I always think about that. Like, what if I'm just, like, in a room right now? What if I'm in a padded cell?
I thought about
likely
that a lot.
That is.
I thought about that a lot. It's the whole, like, what was you call it? The theory of the simulation.
Yeah.
Because thinking about how it's like when you dream, sometimes you swear something happened. Like, I've had a dream where I would put any money down that I swear I was having sex with this girl or something. Like, I felt it.
Yeah.
You know, and then you wake up and you're like, that's so weird. So I think it's definitely possible that you could feel all of this shit is happening, but you're just in a tube or like you're in a fucking room.
Then you see like a glitch.
My worry isn't necessarily the simulation, but more that I'm just insane. And I'm just making everything up of my own.
That bothers me because that means that like I'm player one in my own mind, but like what if I'm just not player one? What if I'm just like a fucking side character?
What bothers me is like I'm player one and I suck. So like what the fuck? Why would I create a reality where I'm not Elon Musk? You know what I mean? Or where I'm not like one of these like hyper rich people for no good reason.
Well, that's because you're not conscious that you're player one, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. It's the second that you realize that you're player one that you become Charlie Sheen and you go around drinking tiger blood. or whatever the fuck he did. I don't know what he did.
That's raw power right there. I
mean-
heard. That's raw. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's how he fucking got HIV too. I don't know.
Oh damn, bro. Sucks
Yeah.
to suck, you know. Sucks
Don't drink tiger blood.
Yeah, don't do that.
All right, let's get to these questions.
Yeah, so we've got a couple here from our patrons, some of our supporters over at patreon.com/the Snark Tank. Plug.
Podcast.
We plugged it.
Podcast.
That's right.
Oh man, oh my god, what the fuck are these questions? Chase Davis wrote in.
Yeah.
What is a movie or game that you like but everybody else hates?
I love Spider-Man 3, and I
my
love
God.
Star Wars Episode 3.
Episode 3?
Yeah, I love
That's
those
the one
two
that people
movies.
like.
A lot of people, if you're talking about the prequels, definitely unanimously the third one is the best, obviously. And there's some people that are okay with it overall. I haven't heard too much shit from it.
Okay, but I love Spider-Man 3. I fucking love that movie.
Yeah, that's different. That's
I
definitely
love-
good.
I
That's a good answer.
Fucking love it.
That's a fucking awful. It's charming to watch in retrospect,
It's so fucking funny. It's such a good
but
time
it's
watching
not.
that
But see,
movie.
I think you're soaking it in as like you kind of like it in that way of how charming and fun, because it's not supposed to be that way. You know, it's supposed to be more of a serious superhero film, and with a little bit of shit sprinkled in there. But I think because of how bad it is, you enjoy it. Like you enjoy how bad it came out. I think that's what.
I guess I enjoy the final product, whether it was meant to be that way or not.
Right.
I still very much so enjoy
I
it.
like Spider-Man 3, but it's terrible. It's a fucking terrible movie. And there are things about it that I like that I used to think were bad. Like the dancing scene, I used to think was like fucking atrocious.
Fantastic.
But like it's actually kind of great. It's actually it's so, because when you look at it through the lens of like, oh, this is what like a nerd idiot like Peter Parker would think is cool. And when you view it like that, it's kind of like really great, because it's like everybody's like looking at him like, what the fuck? And he's the only one who thinks he's hot shit, and I'm like, that's cool. I like that. I used to think that was really lame. But the fact remains that movie is soldered to like a board of bullshit where it's like, oh, amnesia plotline. Oh, fucking Sandman and his daughter. Like no one.
Oh, and he was fucking the there with Uncle Ben and all
Yeah.
that shit, and I'm like, okay,
That retcon was like horrendous.
I was
It was
like,
so bad.
okay.
And there's like parts of that movie that are good. Like the whole part where Sandman is like
Created.
in the fucking vat, and it's like that. It's nothing but music, and he's like pulling himself together. That part was fucking genuinely beautiful. Like that was an actually like amazing sequence. But that's about it. That's about it.
Sorry, guys. I love it. I just like that movie a
Fucking
lot.
Topher Grace. Who the fuck put Eric Foreman
That
as
is so-
Venom?
That was the worst
I
part
could
to
not
me.
believe that. When I saw that, I thought it was. When I legitimately heard that, I thought it was like a joke. I was just like, oh, that's funny. You would get like the last person you would pick for Eddie Brock. The last person you could think of.
Eddie Brock is he's a wall. He's a wall of a human.
I would have rather had fucking Kirkwood Smith, like Red Foreman, be him. Like I would rather that. Peter Parker, you dumbass.
That would be so fucking hilarious.
It would be.
What about you guys? What's your opinion on that?
Okay, so movie and game.
Or game.
Or
Or
game.
like it's a slash, but like either or.
I can
Like,
say something that's
that
very
you-
controversial.
what?
I'm one of the few people I know that actually enjoys playing Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah, so so there's a lot of people, they've been sponsoring like a ton of YouTubers, and I know some people were like talking a lot of shit because like, oh, all these people don't play this game, they don't like it. You're shilling essentially, and I was just like,
That is true of most people, I feel like.
that's absolutely true, and I think one of the reasons why I haven't gotten shit is because I genuinely play the game. I play it every day because they just have like these daily little things. So I'll play it for like 20 minutes before I go to bed or while I'm taking a shit or something. I'll do that. And then over time, you do that and you play for free. Like I'm pretty far into the game. I actually can like compete with like some of the higher tiers and shit because just over time, I started playing in the spring of 2019 when they first approached me. They're like, hey, try this fucking game. And I'm like, I don't play mobile shit because I like to use my thumbs on a joystick or something.
Right. No,
on
me
a
too.
controller. So then when I found out, okay, it's turn-based, I'm a huge fan of turn-based. Been playing Chrono Trigger, fucking Pokemon, Final Fantasy. So like turn-based combat was like fine for me.
I feel you.
And then I'm also a huge fantasy fucking nerd when it comes to like that. So a lot of the character and the models where I'm like, these look pretty cool. I wonder if they're ever going to add lore. And, I'm still waiting for that shit. They have like a little things here, the sprint. But long story short, the combat's fun. Obviously, free to play and play to win it's always going to be controversial. For the bullshit reasons that they try to like do certain things. Like, there's obviously fucking problems with the game. Like some things you have to, spend your silver just to remove your armor from your character. Like that fucking infuriates me. But as far as the gameplay, I have a lot of fun with it. And I actually just the other day, I'm just going to say I got a character that I can't talk to anybody about it because I don't know anyone that like really plays it. I know people online that play, but I was like marking out because it was a character like that he's like the best character in the arena when you do PvP. So I'm getting too far into it, but this is something that like I genuinely like and no, this is not a fucking ad because obviously I criticize them too.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like I legitimately like playing the game and I've saw some people say like, oh, this game's fucking terrible and this and that. And I'm like, I don't think you've even played it, man. I think,
no, definitely not. People aren't playing it.
Yeah, so. But the score, I just said, hey, look at the review score and look how many people are playing. The game's up there. Like, I saw a comment the other day when I was doing some research, and it said that, oh, this game's going to die in 6 months. And I'm like, it's fucking really big right now, so.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that people would not. Mobile games are weird because, like, the mobile market is a race to the bottom. Because so many people have tried to basically, like, I think when Apple first came out with the App Store and people were like started to make games, there was like a really big push to make games really cheap and affordable on the platform, and then like developers kept undercutting each other, and eventually it just got to the point where people were like charging $1 for games, or like they would just make them free and just shove ads in them. Yeah, and a bunch of developers, like I think like an insane amount of developers shut down because of the race to the bottom on the App Store. So it makes sense that the feeling that most people would have towards mobile games would be overwhelmingly negative. Even though there are some good, I think there's obviously some good games on there. I wouldn't know because I haven't sought them out, and I have enough to play as it is.
Exactly.
For me, I don't know. I prefer whenever I'm doing portable, I prefer something that's Nintendo based.
Yeah,
that's very much so the line I go toward. I don't like.
I need buttons, man. I'll be real, man. I need tactile fucking. I need a feeling of tactility.
You literally stole the words out of my mouth. I was about to say that exactly, but yeah,
I totally get it. I think the only reason because I remember saying something. I remember seeing Count Dankula. He mentioned something. He was kind of like saying something positive about Raid, and I said like, oh, I unashamed, like I play this shit. Like I'm unashamed to say that I play this. I replied, and somebody said, and they weren't talking shit, but they just said like, why would you play that when like Morrowind is available on the mobile? And my thing was, I'm not playing games like Morrowind on my fucking phone.
No, yeah,
like that's the whole thing. The reason why I even like this at all is because it's a quick in and out. I can just play real quick. You know, while I'd be listening to a podcast, I'm doing some shit real quick, and then I'm fucking done. Yeah,
it's junk food.
That's why, I don't think of it in the way that I'm gonna spend hours in a day. Like I'm gonna spend like I 3.5 hours playing Skyrim last night. I was streaming. Like I wouldn't fucking do that for that game. You know,
yeah.
It's so that's the reason. So, but it is very controversial just to even say that. It's definitely one of those things. But I don't give a fuck. Like I'll get that shit tattooed on my
man. And hey, listen,
dick.
Props to Raid, honestly, because like they're basically funding every single YouTuber at this point.
They will, dude.
Like without Raid,
shoot the info, Raid.
Real shit, dude. They fucking saved me last month.
Yeah, I think props to them. I'm happy that they're doing well, and that they're doing well enough to fund a bunch of creators, obviously. Yeah. And their game is like doing supposedly super well, so that's fucking sick. Luke Carpenter wrote in. Hot takes on the Friendzone.
A hot take? I can't think of a hot take.
I can't think of a hot take either. I know some people, because I know some people are like, oh, the Friendzone doesn't exist, or like whatever the hell.
It does
or
exist. I think it really does exist.
I think it exists. Absolutely. I think whether that's a big deal is another debate entirely.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess because I don't necessarily think because it's a very simplistic way of looking at things. But for the sake of conversation, I think the Friendzone is a thing. But I don't know if it's that big of a fucking deal, you know?
For me, it's just like the idea of friendzone is that like there's this person you like and they just like, oh, I don't want to really be in a relationship with you. I want to keep you as a friend.
Right.
That's just simply understanding relationships with people. Like some people are just not going to vibe with you the way you vibe with them. And like if you want to be around them still, then, do that. But if you're looking for that, like if you're looking for a connection that's not there, then it's just no point. Get out of there.
Yeah, I can't think of any hot takes to say.
No really. Hot take. Thanks for the
I could be an asshole and be like, if you're in the friend zone, you deserve it. Fuck you. That's a hot take.
I guess.
But but it's entirely falsified, so it doesn't matter.
No hot take, but if for anyone that needs some fucking like some real shit and some real tough love, is that don't get hung up on that shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, don't get hung up.
Em.
It's a waste of time.
Yeah, like well, as soon as you know for sure that something's not gonna happen, dude, you got to think about how many people are in this world. Like that, you're gonna find you're gonna find somebody better. Even you can actually, and this is fucked up to say. If you're with somebody right now, even if you're married to them, I guarantee you can find somebody better than that fucking spouse. That's a fucked up thing to
crazy.
say.
I don't really believe that.
That's 100% true.
I believe
statistically speaking, it has to be.
Mathematically, yes, but also there's the instance where you could have found that person that is best for you already.
No,
just as much as there is a person that is more likely out there. To a lesser degree, you may also be the person that is best for you.
No, to a far lesser degree.
Absolutely, yes.
It's far more likely that there is a better person for you out there than it is that you've met the right person.
Yes, absolutely, but it's still possible.
Yeah, but it's
still a possibility.
It's possible.
It's improbable, but it's
yeah.
possible.
Yeah, no, I think that's always true. I think that's just generally like what happens. It's like at a certain point, you just have to be like, okay, this is where I'm at.
Yeah.
And this is fine.
You're content.
You're content.
Yeah, completely. That's
There's
the only.
always going to be a better person.
Yeah,
like
I
a million
think,
percent.
I think my girlfriend's perfect for me, but I think that's just me being a fucking like bitch.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
always what people say.
I
didn't know she was going to take all my money. What the fuck is that?
Oh my fucking god. Okay, yeah, sure, honey. If you're listening to this, I don't think you're gonna take anything from me. I love you.
I mean, look, real talk. Look,
I mean, what do you have to take, honestly?
Honestly, for real.
Yeah. I mean, real talk, like my last ex, that was where I was like, okay, I think this is like that pinnacle shit, because there was just too many things that there was too much crossover of like, this is too perfect, like wow, like actually thinking, oh, that's some marriage shit right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then, but just statistically speaking, it's like, oh, okay, I could run into her down the road, but then there's like, statistically speaking, there's another girl out there that's like a lot better than her.
But that's also just part of like the internet now, where it's like that door is so open to us now.
Yeah, it's definitely the internet.
Not even just being a public figure on the internet, but just like being on the internet in general.
Being able to see, because like in the internet, you could like connects every facet of our ability, our people, like our person can be connected to someone else. You're like, oh my god, we get along with that, and it's very possible. But like,
I don't know if I'd be constantly chasing the best person.
I don't know
necessarily. I think at a certain point, it'd be like, this is great, this is fine.
You know? I definitely I don't mean to put that energy out. I don't mean that's not what I'm going after. I'm not trying to like do like better. Like say you know, there was a couple of girls I dated where I thought, oh, for sure I could see myself like being with this girl for eternity or whatever the fuck. Mm-hmm. So it's not like I'm looking for the better. It was just saying. It was a thing to kind of like trick myself into like not being like fucking like sad. Where it's
totally, yeah.
Shit didn't work out. Like I could find somebody.
There's probably someone out there better for me. Like that's the idea.
Yeah,
I feel you.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
There's so many people on this fucking planet. There's probably someone out that is better suited for everything you enjoy. Most of the person that is fine. You know.
What if you met somebody who was perfect, but you found out like 5 years into the relationship that she eats bats? And that was the only thing. That's the only thing that's wrong with it.
How much of a
but that's a
detriment?
pretty big.
How much of it is a detriment? Is it? Like she just eats bats?
How much of a detriment is it? She eats bats.
So
Kingston.
okay.
Eats bats. Like what the fuck? People eat frogs and shit, bro.
Frogs don't give you fucking
coronavirus.
That's true.
Here's the deal.
I get it. Like, but does she have the coronavirus?
She's eating bats.
But does she have it?
Not yet.
And it's been 5 years and she's not eating it. I'm like, hey, get checked out and like, because if you're that perfect for me, like if someone's very perfect for me, there's gonna be it's real hard for me to be like, oh, I don't want to date you anymore. Realistically, you're not gonna be like, oh, you eat bats. I can't be a part of it. It's gonna be like they eat bats. That's strange. I gotta figure out how we're gonna work past this.
I have a very short fuse with that shit. That would set everything off entirely.
It would not set.
That would be like I don't know how to even.
I would start
this
questioning
is such a
a lot,
First of all, why would you hide this? Like, what a weird thing.
That's a good point.
Weird thing.
Yeah,
like what
definitely.
else? Because at that point I'm thinking like, what else? What else is being
That's-
hidden?
that's-
And I just like I can't. I'll be in my head all over the place.
That is very interesting. You even say that when you said what else, that just like a light thing went off in my head because I've had that scenario happen to me.
Right.
Where like there was a pretty big lie, but at the same time it wasn't a big deal. So it was like, why the fuck do you even lie about that? And then it made me think, what else is she keeping from me? And then
that needs to be a narrative. That moment. It needs to be like,
that
hey,
happened.
So you eat bats. That's strange. Is that customary? Did you grow up doing that?
Right.
Do you know they can have this really not good version of the flu? What's the haps? And then you chop it up, and then if you get an explanation that's good enough for you, then you stay in the movie.
I need to be really clear. These are raw. She's eating bats, like Ozzy eats bats.
I understand.
Dude.
I'm very aware.
That would
of
upset me.
I went to the weirdest possible. Like she eats fucking pregnant bats. Like I'm at the point where it's just the weirdest thing ever.
God. See,
and
that
I'm
would
just
fuck me.
trying to figure out because already I'm in disarray. there's already a moment in my mind where I'm like everything's going wrong.
Yeah.
I've slept with this woman and she eats bats, and I don't know what this is. Does she think she's a fucking apex predator? Does she kill? Does she want to just eat flying mammals? Like, what's going on?
If y'all were like truly in love, I think you would be able to convince her to stop. What I mean is like you talk to her, you have a sit down, and you're like, yo, I don't want you to get infected. Like, I do not want you to be. I guess, well, patient zero is not a thing anymore.
Okay.
It already happened.
I just had an idea. All right, let's role play here.
Oh, here we go.
I'm your girlfriend. I eat bats.
Oh, I'm down. I'm down for this.
All right, let's go. Let's say you found a bat in my room or something, a half-eaten bat in my room.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey,
there's a bat missing its entrails in the bathroom.
were you digging into my stuff?
No, we share a bathroom, and it was just in the sink.
You're supposed to respect my boundaries, Kingston. I can't believe that you would just dig through my stuff like that.
I wasn't digging. I saw wings in the sink, and anyone would be confused about that.
You're not supposed to be digging through my stuff. Those are bat wings. I eat bats. So what, Kingston?
Okay, you eat bat.
We're in love, are we not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Then it shouldn't be that big of a deal.
That's so true. That's so true. I just need some answers about this because, I don't know what really eats bats in general. Other than other bats.
I do, and my entire family. We've been eating bats for centuries.
Over centuries? Okay.
Centuries.
Oh, okay. That's a culture. That's like a family thing.
No,
it's not.
No! This took a weird turn.
No.
What do you say from there?
It's not. That's all I had to say.
It's like, I gotta go to work.
Oh shit, yo! You know what just happened? I just started cheating on you, Al. All of a sudden, I just started cheating on you. Eats bats. Oh my god, that'd be fucking wonky, Wiki.
all I'm saying, man, is that like there are certain things that are just too much, and I think that's one of them for me. I feel like because the statistics come into play at that point. Statistically, there's someone just like you who doesn't eat bats.
Absolutely.
That I can find. So, like,
But
I'd rather just have that.
Statistics, probability becomes way too wonky for me. When I think of probability, it just becomes like, oh, this is just annoying because, like, theoretically, in theory, there's a person who's like, I don't give a fuck. In theory, it hasn't helped me out at all. In theory, I should jump off this and I'll be fine.
Yeah, I know.
In theory, I should be able to ride my bike and not get hit by a car.
Okay.
So fuck that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's kind of like when people say like, oh, it's like you have like a 1 in 200 chance of dying in a plane crash, but it's like for the people on that crashing plane, that's like 100%.
They're the 100%.
It's 100%.
Exactly.
It's 100% certain.
It's like, oh fuck, wow, the 1 in 200. Look at us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally get like both of the ends of that spectrum, and I really do think that it's more. I think it's been more of a negative than the like statistically speaking. It's been more of a negative to me because it's been instead of me maybe like focusing on. Just like finding someone in my area or whatever, and kind of just like, because in my mindset, I'm like, oh, look at all these fucking people that are just selling for these like fucking whatever. Like, you know, they're probably just settling. They're not even like finding the best person for them or whatever. And then all this shit. And I think I'm just making up all this bullshit just to like really just think that what I'm doing, this is good. This is a good thing. But
I think if it's your vibe, it's your vibe, man. That's all. That's all it really needs to boil down to. That's
Yeah.
what I see that. If it's just your thing. It's just your thing. Whatever you do that makes you most comfortable in a relationship should be done.
Yeah.
You know, like you shouldn't venture out to like, oh, I wanna meet people only here, because like then that limits you to what you want to do. But if you want to go out, then go out and find them. You know, like it's so many humans on this planet that wherever you want to find them, just find them.
Yeah,
you know?
and some of those people fuck animals. So
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fucking that's my line. That is my line.
that's your line.
That is definitely a huge red flag.
I
Yeah.
hope that's like
That's crimson.
That's
That's, a
the-
crimson
everyone's
flag.
line except for
Crazy.
animal fuckers. Like animal fuckers, obviously that's not their line, but everyone else that please let that be your line.
That is actually.
Yeah, like if you find out your girlfriend fucks animals, like you'd be done with it, right? Like I would be done. I would be done.
If
With
I found out my girlfriend had sex with animals, I would try to fight her. Actually,
it. You'd throw hands.
I would literally. What I would do is I would go to a floor and I'd punch the ground until my hands are numb, so I can hit that person a lot. I would punch the ground. I'd
What?
fucking trunks the floor until my hands are bloody and numb, and then I'd fight her. No, I'm kidding. It's theoretical, sweetheart. She's gonna listen. She's gonna hear this. And I don't know.
Does she listen?
Absolutely. She listens to this shit. Absolutely.
That's gonna be a problem.
Hey, just don't fuck animals. That's it. That's it.
It's good advice, I think. All right, Zillion or Jillian X wrote in. Sorry for the confusing username read from the last episode. My name is Abby, if that makes it easier. Yes, it will.
What's up, Abby?
I'm renaming
doing,
you that
Abby?
after this.
I love that
Hold on.
name.
We appreciate the donation.
Yeah, we do. So what YouTuber, celebrity, or famous person would you want to collab video with? And what would the subject of the video be? I think we could just leave it at the who.
Who?
Because the subject, like, that takes, I don't know. It takes me a long time to even settle on shit to
Oh, yeah.
do.
For
So
real. Ideas get crazy.
I'd have to think a little bit.
Old school Filthy Frank, yo. Classic.
Oh, Joji?
Yeah. Like
He just put out a fucking amazing song.
Yeah, he did actually. I saw the video for him when he was in a limo, right?
Fucking incredible.
Yeah, it was fucking wild.
I haven't heard it yet.
It's so good.
I haven't heard it yet.
Phenomenal. Like, actually, like, wildly good. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, because I didn't really think his last EPs, like, he's been doing the music thing now. And I listened to a couple of his stuff and was like, this isn't really for
I like
me.
his pink guy music the most. That's because it's so fucking
It's just-
raunchy and
yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's
there's
just-
some good ones.
Yeah.
The thing is that's the character. That's the person I knew him as. You know, that's the person I knew Filthy Frank as for years. Like, oh, he's just a fucking gremlin of a human being.
Yeah.
That does ridiculous shit, and like that's really really cool. And but for like his film of comedy was so genuinely what I understood YouTube as. That if I could work with him, that would be hilarious. Because I feel like how fucked up he is would only exacerbate and help me evolve further into how fucked up I want to be.
Yeah.
You know?
You sound like a Billie Eilish, like, fan.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm so fucked up. I love things that... oh, man.
But I'm not edgy though. I'm just fucking wonky.
You're not edgy, but you speak like you're edgy. It's weird. It's very interesting. Yeah. I'm so fucked up, man. I'm so dark, man.
No one understands
No one
me.
No one
Understand.
gets me. I'm mad. I'm Sweeney, and the world's so fucking weird and full of pussies. Conformist bitch.
Conformist bitch. Yeah, Joji
Yeah.
would be amazing.
Yeah,
He-
Joji. Yeah.
Man, I'm trying to think. I feel like if I could collaborate in any way with Larry David, that'd be amazing. Highest possible like request. If I could like sacrifice a pig to the gods to get that to happen, it'd
Yeah.
be Larry David.
There's one person higher than him, but I'll let you guys go.
Okay. That's a very good pick. If I'm talking about, because there's a lot of people I would love to just have a conversation with. I don't necessarily want to collab with them.
Right.
But collabing, something that I guess that means a lot to me is, say, I would love to, like, Ethan of H3H3. He's been like his whole journey, everything has been like so inspirational to me.
Yeah.
And just how where they started, where him and Hila started, and where he even went to fucking Israel for a while, like all these things, and see how far they've come. It's pretty insane. So when he was like active doing like H3H3 videos, it was one of the things I'm like, fuck man, if I could like just meet up with him, and I know like we can really bounce off of each other, and it would be really dope. Now, like, you know, since he pretty much just does a podcast, I would still love to have sit down, hang out.
Yeah.
But like that stupid fucking Twitter trash series that I do, I think it would be really fun to do that with. So that would be like that, because I really just, this is the guy that really inspired me, like in 2014 or some bullshit like that. When it was more 2015.
Yeah.
And I was really like, okay, this guy is blowing up, and I really like his sense of humor. So that would really, really be. It would be kind of like you have certain milestones that you want to like meet and stuff. That's one of them that I kind of want to like check off and stuff. And you know, I got to meet him, which was cool. Like when we hung out and shit. But yeah, just actually working together. That's one. It's like, oh, I'm trying to check that shit off.
I'm just starting to think like it's a list for me. Like, 'cause after those people, I would love to meet Matt Mercer.
Obviously. Oh, the voice actor.
He's voice actor. He plays Dungeons and Dragons. His ability to world create. I started so as of recently, I started writing, and I became like really into like writing, particularly like fantasy because of Dungeons and Dragons, and like the way he can command a story and tell it to you. That there's no visual of the world. It's just his words describing the world to you. I think is like near unparalleled, you know.
Right.
So I would just love to sit down with him and just like pick his brain and like see what he thinks of and stuff like that.
What would you do? Sorry to cut you off. But what would you do if you guys did meet up and it was really cool, but then afterwards he puts his hand on your thigh? What do you do?
Dude, shit like that is the worst, man. Shit like that is the fuck. That's like. Just like, I'll be like, I would just move my hand and I'll be like, I will never tell anyone of this. No one will ever know of this, all right? You have a blessed day and I still do look up to you. I still look up to you, but like, please, just read the room a little better.
Just
read the room a little better.
Like, what gave you the impression I wanted this?
What did I do to bring this? Like, what? I'm so clearly like not into this.
We're talking about D&D. When the fuck did that pop up?
Maybe you thought you wanted to meet up to talk about some Dick and Dick.
You know, it would be a good collaboration between all of us if we had got a chance to work with. I think June and Skeptic.
Oh, June and Greg.
I think like
that would be really
fun. If we all work together, that'd be something fucking outlandish.
Yeah, they're just too far. I've tried so many times, and then like the one time that we were gonna do something, I was supposed to go up there, or they were supposed to meet me in New York. It like snowed like crazy. It was like a fucking blizzard, and I was like, we're fucked, I guess. Sucks. This is like 2016, I think, or 2015.
Sometime last year, I was talking to June, and at some point, I think they're gonna come. I don't know if it's gonna be for like VidCon or whatever. Because the thing that, as far as my Twitter trash thing, it's always like, why hasn't she been on? Like, she would be perfect, and I agree.
For sure,
I agree. I've always said that I think her comedic timing is like ridiculously good.
Yeah,
I think she has like somewhat of a gift kind of thing where I'm like, she's on it. I like her like improvisational skills and stuff. And Skeptic, he's always a good time. I love how like ridiculously arrogant he is, like in a funny way. You know, like I really like.
He just has a fantastic demeanor. He just seems like he's like, I'm the shit, and I'll beat you up and make you believe it.
He gets really verbose. Whenever he's like angry, and it's like the funniest shit. Like I can't remember what he described it like when he was. It's always the Star Wars reviews.
Dude. I love Star Wars too, so I love seeing someone vent my hatred towards the new Star Wars world.
And he does it really well.
Him and Jeff are the two people I love.
He does it really well because like he said this one thing about like he called the Porgs like chimeran. It was like something that we would say. But it's like an insult that I wrote down and like siphoned, and like I've stolen like parts of that because it's just so good.
Yeah, I definitely, you know, at some point maybe we just get him to sit down and hear.
That'd be
perfect. Get your ass in here. We'd probably have video at that point, and then I think that would be a really good time.
Just create amazing content for you guys to laugh at for years to come.
What I've always wanted to do as like a general project is I've always wanted to do like an Always Sunny sort of Curb Your Enthusiasm mix of like a show about like content creators and shit. I've always wanted to do that shit, and I have like so much shit written, but it's just like getting people on board and like scheduling shit is just such a fucking nightmare.
That'd be a big event.
It would be a big thing. It would be hard to do. It would take like months to get like an episode, a single episode.
Once it's done, that'd be like groundbreaking.
I think it could be good. I have a lot of stuff written that I think is genuinely hilarious.
I like the idea already. I like the idea already.
What is this? Asking. There's a fucking helicopter in the rain.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh man, I'm not even gonna make that joke. I'm not even gonna step in there. I'm gonna stay outside that box.
Stop it right
We'll stay out. We'll give him like a month. Melphis 1.
Oh my god.
Melphis 1.
Oh my lord.
Wrote in, "Hey you three snarketeers, hate that, hate it.
Boy, I don't want to see that no more.
If you could have any game remastered or reimagined, think Resident Evil 2 Remake, from any generation, console or PC, on whatever platform you want, which would you choose, and how would it be remastered or reimagined?
This is easy.
It's easy for you?
Yeah, absolutely.
I have no fucking idea.
Super Mario 64 remastered from top to bottom in a complete, like, just taking Mario Odyssey to a next level, but with 64. That would be groundbreaking.
That game is so broken, though. I feel like it would be hard to polish it.
It's so broken.
And keep the broken parts.
But the broken parts aren't, like, I understand it's very broken. You can, like, get all the loopholes, but you don't have to, in the main playing of the game, you don't need any of the brokenness. You just play the game.
Right.
Without it being, like, super screwed up.
But ideally, you'd want it to remain broken.
I guess. Maybe
because that's what gives it so much of its replayability, is the fact that it is indeed broken.
But I don't know why it gives it so much of it.
Absolutely, 1,000,000%.
I think the mechanically, how heavy mechanic-wise it is.
Yeah.
Is what gives it, like, a lot of the thing, but it isn't because it's broken. It's
Have you seen people speedrun that game, dude?
I've seen people jump. I learned how to do that backwards jump. I taught myself it.
It just looks like wizardry when you see it. It looks like somebody just disrespecting the law. Like, whenever you watch somebody speedrun that game, it's just stupid. It's just borderline learning deficient.
Long jump. I learned that shit, and that game got wild because I kept fucking falling through stages. Because I would do it all the time, whenever I could. I was just like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
What about you?
I guess there's just these two. I can't believe I still can't believe they did Link's Awakening. That fucking weirds me out.
Yeah, Link's Awakening.
I'm like,
that was so good.
Because that was one of the things on my list where I'm like, oh man, they need to do this. People need to fucking play this game. The other two, and I might have mentioned them already, as far as like games that I really enjoy, but The Legend of Dragoon, I probably would get a little teary-eyed, because that game
and Chrono Trigger, two games that need to be exist again.
Yeah, they do, and I don't want them to do like a remake the way they did Final Fantasy VII though, because I want it to remain turn-based. I really want it to remain turn-based. Because the thing that's so appealing to me about turn-based is the strategy. Mm-hmm. That is so fucking important. I feel like it made me so much. It's like playing chess. When I used to play chess when I was young, it made me so much more ahead of like my peers as far as like
combat.
Like they were you felt kind of like it made you kind of arrogant too though, because I felt like, man, you people are fucking stupid. Like you don't see what's coming. Like you have to like really plan things out. You have to think about it.
That gave me turn-based RPGs gave me a real understanding of combat.
Yeah.
Of combat and everything. That's why whenever, even in fighting games now, like when I play fighting games, I play fighting games in a way different way from most people. Dude. And it's just like, because I've been playing these games turn-based so long, I understand that you have to make your move and I have to react according to what you just did.
Right.
So that's what I really like about
I fucking hate them.
You hate them?
I really can't stand. But you
like running and gunning though. That's the thing.
I like action.
Yeah,
I like a game that makes me feel like I'm in a game. I don't know.
I just think of it as I think of those games like in the way that I think of like chess, man.
Right.
Like I love Doom. I'm excited for Doom Eternal, but I also sometimes I'm just relaxing, kind of like some people just like to read a book, and then some people like to play basketball afterwards. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's
different scenarios.
Yeah, two different things, two different settings. mindsets.
I understand what you mean. I very much so feel that. That's what I feel about like even chess and check and stuff like that. Like I like those games because they force me to, other than just using my reflexes and using this weapon I have, it makes me use my mind. My mind is my greatest weapon in those, and that's what I like.
And it's much more rewarding.
But that makes that makes the assumption that you're not using your mind in an action every game.
You definitely are.
I am, but they're not. That's not my primary weapon in a sense.
Yeah, a lot of times in those, like say Call of Duty, for example, Modern Warfare 2 is the only multiplayer I really, really got enthralled with. And that was usually the people that won were the most accurate, and the people who had the best that muscle twitch fiber, that hand-eye coordination thing where you can really just be like quick, first one to get that shot off and stuff and start shooting first, opposed to like say someone who's not like that at all. You play like chess, and then all of a sudden there is none of that shit. Now it's like you have to strategize. You're like, if I make this one move, I can completely ruin the entire setting when I could have been dominating the entire time. Like I love that, like just slight little things can fuck an entire thing up.
It's equal playing ground exactly. We have both the same capacity to do anything that you're about to do. It doesn't matter my loadout. We're just both equal playing field.
Right.
Other than my intellect.
That's why I like arena shooters, because that's what that is.
Yeah,
arena shooters is shooter chess. That's what it is.
You're very right.
because it's all about just moving around the board.
I think it's especially when the maps are set up like really well to where they know exactly what they were doing to put like, and then you can find these advantages and disadvantages and all these certain,
particularly Halo 3.
Certain things.
Halo 3 is that game entirely. Yeah,
Halo 2 and Halo 3 have like some of the best maps multiplayer design in ever,
so
because they're so perfectly like map design is so important. And like people just, I don't know, man. I feel like maps have just gotten worse. Like I can't think of a multiplayer game that I've played recently that has maps that I remember really.
I say Destiny best because I play Destiny so much.
Yeah,
I would say Titanfall.
No, I can't think of a single. I love Titanfall. I can't think of a single map from Titanfall.
Where you're like, oh, this is a really good map.
Yeah, I can't think of one.
Like my thing is, since I was never, and it's because I never really cared enough to be the best when I was playing multiplayer.
Yeah.
But in Modern Warfare 2, there were certain maps that no matter what, I would always dominate. Like say Rust.
Yeah.
That was my map because I would always put on the perks of like infinite sprint, and then I would extend my fucking my melee. So I would
fucking dominate
just
in that one.
Knife
You'd
everyone
be a rusher.
and always win.
Yeah, that shit was fucking a good idea. Honestly,
so I love like that's a very strategic thing, or go all the way at the top and then fuck everybody up to where like if you jump in the. So I love shit like that. I love that. Say the map makes you have to think about this the ways that you're gonna really dominate, and then I'm gonna have to be faster because there's other people that are gonna be doing work. And even in fighting games, I forgot there was like that one infamous one. It might have been like a Street Fighter Alpha game. Where this dude like just fucking
Daigo,
dude.
It was Daigo in Street Fighter Third Strike.
It was Third Strike.
Third Strike.
What was it?
He literally so let me break down for you guys. In Street Fighter 3, what happens is every time you would make contact with somebody, you can press the analog stick in forward and you parry a move.
Right.
So what
cancel off the
happened
damage completely.
You cancel the damage
entirely. Oh wow.
So what happened was this guy Daigo was playing as Ken against someone who was playing as Chun-Li. Chun-Li's ultimate has like 20 plus hits to it, and he parried through all of those and then retorted with a combo into his ultimate and won the championship.
Yeah,
That's insane.
It was pretty insane because if he would have missed any of them, because the chip damage would have killed him, so he had to do it perfectly to each one, and it's one of the most amazing things you'll ever see, because that's one of those things to where it lends to like the like having that type of mind to do things perfectly and just be completely on point. So that shit, like, it's definitely like both genres. Like, say if you're thinking of like fusion of strategy and that, like that shit's fucking that's on another. I can't even dream of doing that. My brain would be like, dude, don't stop.
Yeah.
Like, don't even. My brain wouldn't even let me do that.
I saw it like years after it happened, and I've just rewatched it over and over and over again. It's like, that is insane.
Did you ever see that viral? I can't remember if it was like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter or whatever, but it was like a match between two people, and they were just like they did the exact same thing constantly. Like it was like I'm watching like a mirror. It was like somebody had edited the video and like did like a mirror.
Really, I didn't see that.
It's fucking crazy. It's like and they're just like cracking up at a certain point because they're just doing the same exact thing. It's wild. I've never seen two separate people just do the exact, like to the animation frame. It was like wild.
It's insane because it's the idea of like it's the strategy. This is the best thing to do right now.
Yeah,
so
right.
This person's gonna do it right now too, right? And it just keep like it's like fighting yourself almost, like fighting a clone.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm gonna punch. This person's punches. I punch each other's
I just think for me, it's like when the ultimate realization, like the goal of a video game to me, is to get as close to virtual reality as possible. Mm-hmm. And that means, simulating an environment and allowing you to have a direct impact on that environment in the ways that you would assume would work. I don't know, just like I feel like when I'm playing like most isometric games, and there are some isometric games that I like Bastion I fucking adore.
Game's adorable.
Pretty much anything by Supergiant actually is pretty great. And like some turn-based stuff, like I like Child of Light. I like Final Fantasy VII, even though I haven't finished it because it's fucking long and long-winded. But to me, it just feels like I feel so separate. I feel like I'm telling a cool character to do a cool thing.
Well, you are, actually.
Right.
Literally.
That's what you're doing. You're telling a cool character to do a cool thing. I feel like I'm going to be more into a game if it lets me be the cool person doing the cool thing.
I feel like that's why you like Dungeons & Dragons. I feel like Dungeons & Dragons closes that gap completely. In that game, for me...
it's the difference between like text-based adventures and like Skyrim.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I actually I'm the complete opposite when it comes to that. I like controlling people and like doing stuff because
I like controlling
that's like
people.
Derek Blackman. I like controlling people.
Fucking puppet. Somebody draw a picture of Derek over like in the shadows puppeteering someone doing something.
He's just puppeting. He's got like those marionette strings, and it's over the planet.
Oh my god, that reminds me of in Streets of Rage 2. There's the main boss like in the beginning of the game when it's like doing the little screen the text when it's reading. Oh, Mr. X is taking over the city, and then he's just like over the entire city, like looking all fucking sinister. Like I totally. Anyways, you're taking me out of context. No, I've never two things that I never connected with, like say the teenage angst music. I never connected with it because I wasn't really angsty kid in that way.
Samesies.
And then there was and then video games. I didn't really use it for escapism. I use it because I just think they're really fun, and I never really wanted to. I would connect with the characters where, like, say I'd play Mass Effect and I'm connecting with Commander Shepard, but I never wanted to be Commander Shepard. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of...
Right.
I never really felt like I wanted to be in the game and do this. I'm like, I'm making Commander Shepard do this cool shit, and Commander Shepard is the shit because he's doing things that we're kind of like-minded. So just as an example...
like
an
avatar.
Yeah, so I kind of like that, but I've never.
Right.
So the idea of like virtual, like I've always liked laser tag and stuff because it was kind of like that in a little bit where it's like, hey, I'm almost on a map, and then it's like I'm fucking playing, and that shit like that's pretty fun. I think when things are like perfected, I think I'll jump way like more on board.
Yeah.
But
I mean, VR is not quite there yet. Like
Yeah.
like Boneworks is the most recent thing that I've played, and it's incredible, but it's still like, you know, you could tell like you need a specific controller for it.
Is that the one that because on your latest video on
Yeah.
I was actually pretty impressed with that.
That shit is wild. That is like the closest that I've seen. For those of you who don't know, just look it up. It's Boneworks. It's by a developer. I think it's by like a few people, but the developer studio I think is like Stress Level 0 or something. Look up just gameplay of that shit because it's wild. It's like it's what you would imagine VR is supposed to be. It's not there yet, obviously, because the tech is limited and like it's designed with these very specific controllers in mind that are like not available yet. Really, because they didn't stock them properly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't necessarily mean that VR is like the go-to, but like as close as you can get to that without necessarily having to set yourself up. Like a game like Breath of the Wild is a perfect example. That game is a virtual reality. You go in there and there are physics that you can manipulate.
I get
and
what
it
you mean.
works in a way that you're like, I can't believe that fucking worked because that's exactly what I thought would work.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
and it's stuff like that. It's like as convincing as the world can make it feel. Like,
I see.
because I know that there's
I
games
get
where
it.
it's like,
I get what you're saying now.
yeah, like imagine.
I feel you. That's like the idea of the whole GTA games, but like it's just like everything for the most part has
Right.
weight to it.
But
like, we would have weight to it.
Right, but imagine like a thing drops right in a GTA game, and then it's like under a chair or something.
Yeah.
But there's a physical there's like there's an
barrier.
invisible boundary that's like preventing you from grabbing the thing that fell into the chair. It's like what the fuck is this?
I feel you.
You know? But in a game with like a lot of physics and like stuff like Breath of the Wild that wouldn't happen, and like
For me, I like immersion. I like immersion, but I don't like playing. I like games that are mundane, but that's not my optimal. You know,
Mundane, what do you mean?
They're not like regular. Like there has to be something else added to it to give me that glint of like, oh, this is a different world opposed to my world.
But
so like no GTA.
So no, I love GTA, but like the thing is that like the thing about GTA that lets me like, oh, this is not my world is like the freedom of destruction. Right. Like that's so free. Or like Red Dead, like the thematics of like having the Old West, like that's still very real to the world, but it's not real to my current existence, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
It has to be recognizable enough for you to get invested, but not so recognizable that you become bored.
Yeah. Yes, exactly that.
There's definitely a healthy balance you can find. And dude, some of the stuff that you're saying, because I remember we were talking about, because there's a lot of things that I feel people could have made games infinitely better if they just added simple things like, hey, I can just jump over this little platform, and then I don't have to go all the way around because this is stupid. Like something that
like Pokemon.
Something
that shit's literally there, like little ledges.
You know what really frustrated me in God of War 2? There's a part where you get quote unquote trapped. You get stuck in this room with Perseus, and when you're fighting Perseus, there's these pillars that anyone can just walk through. Like if you're supposed to be trapped in a room, like it shuts behind you, but on one of the walls, there are pillars. That one of the walls are pillars, and you can just climb up and then walk through the pillars. And I'm like,
it's like one of those things where it's like in real life you'd be able to get. It's fine if you want to confine the player, if that's like part of the game.
But confine it
But you have to
entirely to the
confine
point,
it in a way that like you as a player could look at it and be like, yeah, how the fuck am I going to get
how
out
am I
of
gonna
this?
get out of here?
You shouldn't easily be able to problem solve. This shouldn't happen. You know.
Yeah, it reminds me of, because then that's just a disconnect.
Yeah.
You're just like, why the fuck can't he get out of here? I would be able to figure this out. It's like The Last of Us. Whenever Ellie would like walk in front of guards and she wouldn't be seen,
And it would neutralize how you feel.
and it would kind of like, oh, what the fuck is that? Like, I get why they did that, because it would be fucking frustrating
That game would be
nightmare.
unbeatable.
if she ruined your stealth.
That game would be
And
unplayable.
it would make you hate Ellie. Like, honestly, like it would just, everybody hates every character that is associated with an escort mission. They're automatically hated because they're inherently tedious.
Yeah.
So I could understand why they didn't do that, but at the same time, the trade-off is that you get periodically just kind of sucked out of the game because you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's true.
What?
Yeah,
True.
no, but I 100% agree, dude. You know, I actually loved and hated that about Resident Evil 4 when escorting Ashley.
Oh my god, I
That
fucking hate Ashley.
it was so frustrating, but when like getting past it, especially that one part when they're trying to carry her away and you need to like snipe those dudes off of those like high platforms. I remember, and this is something that I learned interesting too, because I failed that part multiple times because I kept killing her, you know, because they're trying to take her away, and then you're kind of panicking, and you're like, fuck, okay, I need to shoot a little bit straighter, but sometimes it doesn't happen. You actually shoot her in the fucking face, and then she's dead.
Hey, shit happens.
And I learned something by watching a game about like, oh, are games too hard or this? It was this. I forgot who made it. It might have even been a game theory. It might have been Matt Pat talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that I didn't notice, and why I think the reason I was able to get past it so easily at some point is when you fail enough. Sometimes games will, without you even noticing, they'll remove some of the enemies. You won't even notice it. And this is something that I was like, I need to go back and start playing some shit and then testing this theory out, because he was showing that like, oh, certain people just aren't there anymore, but you didn't notice it because you're so fucking frustrated. You're just like, I just need to get this done.
I hate that.
I feel like I would notice because I'm so frustrated.
That's what I see. I
oh,
thought,
here comes the fucking guy. You know?
I thought, but like it was like this one scene that he was even talking about. It was in that game in particular, and I was like,
What game?
Resident Evil 4. Sorry.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and I was like, I need, and I know I played this recently, but I blazed through it, so I kind of forgot to test it. But apparently a lot of games do that, and now I'm like, I'm like, fuck, I feel cheated if that's like real. Like, I mean, well, apparently it is real from that.
can't.
Yeah,
video.
some
I
games
hate
some
that shit.
games
That makes
do
me
it.
angry, dude.
I don't think most games would do it.
Most games probably don't, but I suggest if I'm correct, please correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's game theory. I think it was they were talking about that, the difficulty, like if games are too difficult or something like that. Because I've always said no. You know, I was like, I don't think so. I think that the settings, especially when you have settings, when you can go all the way to like veteran or hardcore, whatever it is, I always think that shit's great because now you can really pick your play. I like to inch my shit up as I go.
Right.
I always play the thing above the regular. I never play regular.
That's usually where
just
it's
don't do it
supposed to be.
anymore.
They
That's the
say.
sweet spot. I think that's
I don't do it
typically the spot above
Normal.
Yeah. I always go to hard. That's it. I
Yeah,
never
hard
go to- I never
or
go to
like
super
not,
hard.
or the thing before super hard.
Yeah.
is typically, I think, the best experience for a
Because you
video
get to
game.
play the game and you get to play the game then and really understand the mechanics of the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because especially because the AI is definitely gonna do some shit that they don't do in the
Yeah,
previous
and the
levels.
second you get to like insane or like legendary,
that
That's when you love something. That's when you love something and you want to test how good you know it. You know?
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Have
That
you
is
ever-
definitely, you're not supposed to do that on the first go.
Absolutely.
You absolutely.
If you do and you do it, then that means you're a
if
masochist.
I played Halo 2 on Legendary the first time through, I think I would hate the series. I think I would I would fucking hate it.
It would have been a bad experience, I bet. Yeah. Do you think anybody's ever, especially anyone listening, have you ever beaten? I think of the mode's called Iron Man, when you can, if you die, you game over. It looks like you're real. You only have one life.
In Iron Man, what?
No, the mode's called Iron Man.
In what?
In games, there's a few, like say Gears of War has that.
Doom has it too.
Oh, the
where
one life and it's
you only
permanent?
have one life, and then if you
Yeah, that's Ultra Nightmare, I think.
That's called Ultra Nightmare?
in Doom. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
one life and you're done.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if anybody's ever beaten that. Like anybody even listening.
It
'cause
must.
That shit, I know there's people, I've seen YouTube videos of people doing it, which I don't even understand.
That's just ridiculous.
I can't understand.
I tried it. I tried it with Doom. I got 3 levels in and I died and I went to sleep.
Of course,
Because I got so mad. Because I didn't even think I did anything wrong.
You're not someone that can deal well with video games fucking you.
What are you talking about?
What am I talking about?
Yeah, what?
You're a person like if a game like you're playing a game and something ridiculous happens, you're like, I fucking hate this, and you stop.
No.
Yes.
What are you talking about? There's no evidence that you could bring forth for that.
Yes.
No.
I get mad too, but I don't give up in games. I have to beat it.
So
I can't.
What about rage quitting? Like what you
I
guys?
don't rage quit.
You've
too
never
often.
rage quit.
I
Oh,
don't
no,
rage quit too often.
There's
I've
gotta be
definitely rage quit.
I've done it
right?
before, but I don't do it too often. Like because for me it's like when I lose something, there's a reason why I lose, and I don't want to have that reason continue.
Okay.
So if I rage quit, that means that I'm just allowing myself to continue with this ability to lose. You know.
Yeah,
So it's like you gotta fix that.
But some games just aren't well designed, and there are a lot of like a good game is a game where you can die, and you know exactly why you died, and you know exactly what you did wrong, and you know exactly what to do to avoid it next time.
Yeah, that's what I feel about like there's a game, the Naruto Storm games. I don't think those games are very well designed because I don't know. Like I
don't play that weeb shit.
Oh well, I don't even play anymore either. I stopped playing because I was like, this is just kind of stupid. But for me, it's like there's so many moments in that game where things happen where I'm like, I could have swore I was using the mechanic that prevents things like that from happening. You know. So those games, I'm like, this is not good. But when I play like Street Fighter or something like that, if I die, I'm like, I died because I went for the punish and he was guarding and he was able to retort and hurt me. And I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Now I have to figure out why this happens.
That's why I feel like Call of Duty is like not really well designed.
It's horribly
I think
designed.
it's fun in like a junk food kind of way. It's like a console mobile game, honestly. I feel like that's how I feel about Call of Duty.
I see.
It's fine, and I get the high octane nature of it. I think there are better high octane games like Doom, but like I think that's a game where like I'll die, and I will just have no fucking clue what I did. I'll have no fucking clue.
I play Call of Duty and I feel like I'm not doing
Even
anything.
Destiny's like that. Even Destiny's like that, where you just die and you're like, what the fuck? How could
Yeah,
how does
yeah,
that?
that's
How
true.
did I die? You know, it's frustrating as hell. And then like I gotta be real, man. The first Dark Souls is full of that shit. I just don't fucking get it.
It's
Demon Souls way worse, but yeah,
Well,
I feel
since-
you.
yeah,
I'm
you
sure,
come
I'm
before
sure
that.
Demon Souls.
I
I actually played Demon Souls.
yeah.
I didn't finish it, but I thought it was way better than Dark Souls.
Really?
I'm
You
not
haven't even
kidding.
you haven't gone. Look, man, you haven't given Dark Souls a fair shot. Like I just turned it on yesterday, like last night, just to kind of see where I was at in one of my saves, and like I have this one. I can't even remember what the hell the Chaos Blade.
Oh,
the
dope.
the Chaos Blade. It's so satisfyingly thorough. Like it's just thorough, fast swings. It's really powerful with fire. It's one of those things. Like if you can get some weapons that are really and the thing is, I don't use armor. Right? I maybe I'll just have some pants on or something just to have a little bit of defense. But just when you're just kind of just rolling and shit, and then you're using the right weapons, it's not as clunky as you think. Obviously,
they're still
of course
clunky
they're still
compared to, like,
if
Sekiro
you're
and stuff, yeah.
comparing them,
Yeah,
of
in
course.
comparison, yeah.
But the thing is, like, you're not, in my opinion, you shouldn't be comparing them. Like you're experiencing something different.
I'm trying to go into it with the mindset that Resident Evil controls terribly for a good reason. There's a reason why those games control like shit. It's like, okay, what is the reason why Dark Souls controls like shit? And I'm trying to find it. I'm trying so desperately to find it.
I think it's the same reason, actually. Isn't it to punish you?
I guess, but like Resident Evil's more about like, I guess it more applies to the older ones. Although I guess in the newer,
the older ones,
but like the older ones and like even 4, I think they punish you, but it's more about fear. Like those games are more about like
Tension
and like
so,
fear.
So are Dark Souls though, definitely. Not exactly.
But I'm not
to the same
fearful
degree.
when I play Dark Souls. I'm angry. I'm frustrated,
That's you.
and I'm sick
I'm
of it.
tense when I play Dark Souls. I'm like,
No, I
fuck,
can't.
I'm gonna
Like
get
I just,
hit.
I'm tense because
I see a scary thing down the hallway, and I just know, great, this thing's gonna rape me, and that's my thing. It's like a huge It's just a game full of inconveniences.
It's just not your game, dude.
Yeah,
I guess not.
Your game.
It probably isn't.
but
I like Sekiro and Bloodborne. So what's that?
It's
What's the
just
deal?
Sekiro and Bloodborne are more aggressive,
it's fast.
significantly.
It's fast. That's why a lot of people love it so much. Like, oh, this is. I feel like Dark Souls is more of like, it's just much more humbling,
Right.
Because you feel much more helpless. Even when you are pretty powerful, you can still
Get fucked.
Yeah,
you can still
easily.
get killed.
Like, look,
You
sometimes
can still just mistakenly slip off a ledge after you shield.
Yeah, like
you can
Yeah.
still fucking. You can still roll into a hit and then die. Like
what
Yeah,
what
man.
is it? What is the part? The catacombs.
Catacombs?
The catacombs when it's the giant skeletons are there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's like pitch black. That Still, I actually, because people always say Blight Town is the worst when you're going and everything's poisonous.
That shit sucks. Dude.
Like everyone pretty much unanimously agrees that Blight Town is the worst. It's pretty bad, but I know how to blaze through there really fast. I think the catacombs are way worse because you can't see anything.
Yeah,
and you can have a little bit of light. Like here's your like a little thing, and you have like this much surrounding you. It's still not enough. Yeah. It's so rewarding when you're done though, man. Like it's one of those things that it's so punishing that when you're done, it feels better. I felt much better beating Dark Souls than beating like 3 or anything. Like any of the other From Software games.
Dark Souls 1 felt great. Bloodborne felt great because of how grandiose that story started becoming.
I feel like beating any game.
Sekiro, of course.
I feel like
that last fight is insane.
I feel like beating any game on its hardest difficulty would get me that.
Okay.
Feeling.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't need to play. I don't know, man. I think I just missed the boat on it. Like I'm sure it was like cool when it came out, but like I go back to it and it's just like not only is this now old, and like kind of out of date with the way it plays.
It's definitely hard to go back.
It's just like I feel like even the newer Dark Souls are probably better than the first one as far as how it plays.
Nah. 3 plays so well. 3 plays really, really, really well like as a game. I don't like 2 at all. I just hate that game.
Yeah,
but
do you hate that game for the way it plays? Or do you hate that way because that game because it's designed poorly?
There
is a difference.
I'm on the ladder. I'm on the ladder.
I'm
on the ladder with the decisions that they made that really, really fucking upset me.
It's changed things,
especially
for no
when you
reason.
fucking die. When you die and your life starts just being cut more and more, and then you probably are left with 7/8 of your life after you've died enough times. You need to have these. I forgot what they're even called.
The human effigies.
You have to grow your life back. Essentially, it's the most frustrating.
Awesome. That sounds like really awesomely bad.
So now they're like, oh, this is cool. This is a cool way to punish people. It's like, fuck you, dude.
I don't need
but that's the thing.
else.
It's like there's a fine line between fair punishment and just rampant abuse.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's just not, especially if you run out of stuff. If you run out of it's not hard. Like you can find resources, but just say you're trying to just get some shit done. Now you have to fucking go like farm because you have no life to fight an upcoming boss or something.
The thing is, it brings me back to Kratos being stuck in that room with the pillars.
Yeah,
it's like if there's a thing that I can see that is obviously wrong, it's going to frustrate me as a player, and like. I'll always remember the sword thing, man. The sword hitting the wall. I'll always remember that. Because it's like, I don't mind a game finding ways to cheat for the bad guys. Because they're AI, They're not going to be as smart as me, obviously. So I understand, like, okay, well, an elite in Halo is going to have, like, a slightly faster blast rate on the fucking gun that he has, And he's going to do way more damage than you would do if he melees you. That's fine. That's a fine cheat. Because I don't really think about that. I'm thinking about taking the thing down. But the second, like, my short sword hits the wall and doesn't follow through with the swing, but this dude's, like, 40-foot staff just swings through the wall and cuts me in half. I'm just like, come on, dude.
Now,
you can do that damage to me. I'm fine. But don't have him just do something that objectively doesn't work for me. Because it's just frustrating. Yeah. And I don't think I've seen that. I haven't seen that in Sekiro. I haven't seen that in Bloodborne. None of that.
That happens in Bloodborne.
I've never seen it in Bloodborne. I've never seen it.
Definitely, when you're fighting the priest inside of the church, when he turns to that big beast, it swings past like one of the pillars, and I've been hit. And
How far into that is it?
Not very far, right? The priest, the morning priest in Bloodborne is not that far. He turns to like that big like wolf thing holding the coin.
Oh yeah, I don't think it's towards the end.
I don't remember feeling cheated in that fight though.
That happened to me because I thought I was like, oh, maybe I should get behind something. And I was like, oh, I shouldn't.
I mean, the thing, look, I understand how something like that totally turn you off. But it's.
I'll go back. I'll stream it.
Look, you don't. I think that's a good idea. I'll
stream it.
Someone asked about that, and I was like, maybe, but because I've done it in spurts, that would be cool to stream. And look, I think it won't happen. One thing I understand about hitting the wall is that it's more about where you are when you start your swing. So if you're a little bit too close to the wall when you start your swing, then you're gonna hit the fucking wall. But if you say you can follow through with an attack and your sword will go through the fucking wall, but you were just away from it enough, so it's not gonna always do that.
No, I know.
I've experienced it.
I understand.
Dark Souls, I've experienced.
I understand that you have to just like memorize hitboxes.
Yeah,
I get that.
Yeah.
But that was so jarring the first time I saw it.
I get it. That's one of those things I can really I'm not gonna play this.
And I think I was like 14 or something. I was like, what the fuck? Fuck this. Like,
For
what?
me,
I'll play Dead Space.
I get it, dude. Like, some games just are like certain mechanics in games that it's just not attractive.
The trash like that, whatever. You can criticize the fuck out of that game, you know. I
Yeah.
definitely, and look, to anybody that's never played Dark Souls, for whatever reason, I will never judge you, but I will judge Sweeney for not playing Mass Effect 2. That's all I'll say.
I'm sorry. I
That's
just
it.
never played it. My bad.
I know,
I'm
but I
sorry.
still won't
It's
gonna
pretty
judge
horrific
you.
of you, honestly. Dangle
my
Blampy wrote in.
Hey, you're back again.
Our
dude.
good
What's up?
friend Dangle Blampy. I love that name.
Yeah.
Question for all of you. What's the first time a series you liked let you down? This applies to any type of entertainment medium you can think of. I guess Dark Souls 2 was the most obvious one
For you?
for you guys.
Let me down. There's probably more than that.
The first time a series that you liked let you down.
Any series, like
Any
like
entertainment.
in a game or entertainment?
Any game, any I don't know. I guess it doesn't necessarily. The way he says series makes it seem like it doesn't even apply to music, but like I guess it could extend to it.
For
Anything.
me, the first time I was let down, truly let down.
I remember it.
Go then. Let's hear it.
Spider-Man 3. That was the first time.
Hey, there you go.
I remember I walked out of Spider-Man 3 for the first time as a child. I was a kid. It was like 2007. I think I was like 13 maybe or something. I was like, I walked out of the theater. I had my Spider-Man shirt on.
Yeah.
So excited. And I walked out of there and I was like, I don't think I want to see that again. That was the first time I think I ever remember seeing something that let me down. Like, I don't think I've ever, before then, I just never had that experience.
I've
It's
had
wild.
that experience with I don't remember which came first. It might have even been the same year. Batman and Robin and Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I think that might have been the same year. Actually, it might have been 97. I know Mortal Kombat Annihilation was 97, and I always say when you're a fucking dumbass little kid and you think something's bad, like you're saying, you know, holy shit, that like in retrospect, that is a heaping pile of shit because kids don't think anything's bad.
No, exactly.
So,
And that had been my experience up to that point. Everything that I'd seen was amazing.
yeah,
I played like Fight Night Round 3, a game that I didn't even like. I don't like fucking boxing.
you like boxing.
But that shit was like, I was like, this is fucking amazing. Burnout Revenge. This is fucking amazing.
So cool.
Yeah,
I would play demos of games that were objectively bad and think, this is so fun.
yeah, it's fucking,
Absolutely.
this is
I played the
rad.
demo for Lost Planet. That's actually a bad example because Lost Planet's kind of good.
That's fun.
But like, I played the demo for Lost Planet on the Xbox Live Arcade or whatever the fuck. I thought was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
Oh, dude.
Played the demo for Bioshock. I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. And just like, I walked into Spider-Man 3 like, what the fuck was that? I'm a kid. I should have loved what I
You
just
should
saw.
have loved that.
But I was bored. I was like, fuck, he's getting married and it's about a ring. Fuck this.
I don't know, dude. I feel like most things that let me down, I just kind of forgot. I was like, oh, this is garbage. I'm not gonna remember.
Oh, you
it.
just like blocked it out of your memory.
Yeah.
I would say the first time I played something and I was like, this don't feel right, was I think it was. Oh, it was Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi.
Really?
Yeah, because I remember I couldn't go Super Saiyan in the middle of fights, and that shit bothered the
Oh,
fuck
yeah,
out of me.
yeah. You had to
That
pick.
bothered the fuck out of me. I was like, what? I gotta
That was the
pick
game-
Super Saiyan Gohan?
Yeah, that was the game where you had to like, every Super Saiyan transformation was its own character that you had to pick.
This is stupid. Or Brawl. Brawl let me down.
Super Smash Brothers Brawl?
Yeah, that game hurt me. I remember because I remember playing as Marth, and I was like, oh, I played as Marth in other ones. He has a sword, he's cool. And then his sword was so small, and I was like,
They made his sword smaller?
I was like, okay.
What the fuck?
Yeah, his sword was ridiculous before. That's why Melee sword was like a fucking, a sphere.
If we're talking about video games, the only thing that can come to my, I'm sure I have a lot of examples, but one thing that really comes to my recent memory is it wasn't a bad game. They just changed too much stuff in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Because if you go to Marvel vs. Capcom 2, that game was ridiculously good.
2 is so good.
And
Everything about 2 is good.
Aesthetically, visually, freaking the maps are cool. I can go on about that game for hours.
I want to take you for a ride.
Suck my dick.
I want to take you for a ride.
Big dick
Suck
in
my
your mouth.
wiener.
I love that song so much, actually. It's so
it's
stupid.
so
Good decision.
I remember everyone, we're all like, what the fuck is this music? And then like maybe a week or two later, we're like, oh, this is fucking dope, dude.
It works so well, and it feels classic. Something about it. Even at the time.
Yeah.
Even at the time, for some reason, it felt nostalgic.
Like,
What the fuck is that? How?
Characters, so many. That game had Smash Bros. Ultimate level of characters. Probably
yeah,
more than Ultimate.
There was like at least 50. There was at least 50 characters.
Insane.
In 2?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, more. I think it's more than that.
Would you unlock them as you played?
Yeah, you had to unlock a lot of them.
Oh fuck, dude! I never even did that, dude. I would just play with the fucking starter roster.
Really?
It was a lot.
There's a lot of you start with a lot of
remember
people.
unlocking anybody.
Oh no, you definitely.
I remember just. I might have just played them and unlocked them, but I remember just being so many people. I remember there being like Captain Commando around. You had to unlock one of the Wolverines. I know that.
You had to Bone Claw Wolverine.
Yeah,
you had to unlock Bone Claw. No, there was a lot of there was different versions because there was a version that had like say Jeddah from Darkstalkers 3. He was the main boss in Darkstalkers 3. He is not in most of the he was in like an arcade version. There was like Baby Bonnie Hood, who's she's one of my favorite characters. She's this bounty hunter from Darkstalkers 3. Looks like Little Red Riding Hood, but she'll kick your shit
she
in.
Got the fucking crew with her.
Yeah, she has all those buff fucking guns. And I was like, oh man, they're probably running train on that bitch, dude.
Did you have
That was a kid. That was a kid.
No. She looks like a kid.
Did you ever have like a roster that you had like a specific like 3 that you would pick?
So this is why I was so insanely disappointed with 3. So, Captain Commando was always on my team from the first Marvel vs. Capcom because he's he's the best anti-air.
Dude, this fucking lightning pillar,
dude,
fucks anybody.
He's
up,
the
bro.
best anti-air. Like
it's good for restarting combos, dude. We can go into Marvel's Capcom for hours.
Yeah, we could, but we're not going to. But so he was always on my first Marvel's Capcom was Captain Commando and Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. And so Spider-Man is just too agile. He'll fuck your shit up from anywhere.
He can cling to the freaking corners of the map, which is dope.
I love, and then Spider-Man's my favorite. Like I can start off in 5 seconds. I'll do a quick 6-hit combo and then do a crawler assault on you. And you're fucking, you have like 1% of life left. And people would always be like, ooh, but I was like, dude. Anyway, we're getting too deep into that. So, in the third one, it would be, okay, so a lot of people would get mad, but I don't give a fuck, it's in the game. I use Cable. So Cable was
a piece of shit.
Cable's the regulator. Cable, so I'd always start with Spider-Man, and then I would have Captain Commando, and then Cable. Cable was the fucking regulator. Whenever my other 2 people would get killed, then I just bring out Cable, and I didn't cheese like everybody would do. You just do the Hyper Viper.
Yeah, dude.
No, but like so that was my main team.
Yeah.
For me, it was it was Ken always at first for the assault, Captain Commando for the anti-air, and I would have Mega Man in the back for just like a quick just get you off me with his little like Shoryuken.
Yeah.
And I would, dude, Ken's combos would fucking dog people down. He wasn't as good as Ryu because Hadouken didn't go as far.
Yeah.
But his hits were faster, man.
Yeah. I always had like Tron Bonnet, Spider-Man, and Tron Bonnet, Venom, and Cable were mine.
Okay. Cable's a piece of shit, but Cable's he's a really
Cable,
good character.
He was so good though. He was
so
objectively
So
good.
Sentinel was ridiculous.
Sentinel
too,
was
dude.
he's a lot of people's main when they're playing PvP.
Dude, cross map and Storm was dude.
Storm.
What a nerdy conversation.
Wolverine, oh my.
Storm's hyper combos were fucking ridiculously powerful.
Fucking Wolverine's fucking thing when the X comes out of him. Apparently he's moving that fast.
Oh yeah, the Fatal Claw. Yeah.
Mirage Claw, Tornado Claw, Drill Claw. Oh my God.
All that shit was pretty amazing. So in number 3, so there was Tatsunoko versus Capcom. Cool game that was only for Wii. And it was all that nerdy fucking Japanese stuff, that like Voltron
right.
and all that. So they took the button schemes from that, where it made combos for 3-year-olds. So all you had to do a combo was to press light, medium, and heavy, and it was just in a sequence. So if you're playing on PlayStation, square, triangle, circle. That was that, and then you would press X to start your air combo. It was for 3-year-olds, and I was like, well, this is different and easy, and I don't really like that. And so they took that to number 3.
Oh.
So that pissed me off. And then they took out Captain Commando, and I was just like, I'm still buying this game. It was the first game that I like fucking pre-ordered. I don't fucking pre-order games. Because I was like, what the hell am I gonna do? Like, I don't give a fuck about that.
I don't know what the fuck I pre-ordered. I don't know what the first game I pre-ordered was. I genuinely have no idea.
Maybe like 17's first game I pre-ordered, honestly.
Yeah, I'm trying to fucking
Maybe
remember.
17.
I can't think of it because I didn't pre-order Halo 3 actually.
I think Arkham.
I got Halo 3 from GameFly.
Oh, okay.
I had it mailed to me.
That's right, GameFly.
Yeah.
I used to buy some games from there.
Yeah, you could buy it from there, but like I didn't pre-order it or anything.
You know what I bought from there? The Wolverine game,
X-Men Origins? That was a great game.
That is a fantastic game.
That game is hyper violent. I fucking love it.
That game is stupid good for no reason.
It makes exactly that. You took the words right out of my mouth, man. Because like the movie was so atrocious, and then everyone was like writing reviews like, this game's fucking really good. What the hell's going on here?
It felt so good. He felt like a super person.
I felt like
Other times
actually Wolverine, like tearing people to shreds.
It
You're
made
getting
you
shot
feel
at,
like
and you
you
can
were
see your
Wolverine.
fucking like,
Yeah.
you can see the ribs, like you can see his ribs and shit, and like it'd just be regenerating, and like you'd go all feral, and like just that jumping attack he would do.
That lunge.
That
That
was a cool
lunge.
game, man. That was
Crazy.
that was one of the like that was back when there were a lot of middle market games
Uh-huh.
that were coming out that were just really good.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even necessarily that they were masterpieces or anything. I don't think like X-Men Origin Wolverine
No.
holds a candle to like BioShock or anything. But like those games were fucking solid. Like
For real.
the last few Pandemic games were like really fun. Like Mercenaries 2 and the Saboteur were actually like super cool. It's a shame that studio got nailed to a cross by EA, but like whatever.
EA's burying everybody. So
Dude, I can't stop. I'll always think of that. The second I think this, every time EA pops up, I just think of Pandemic. Always.
Yeah.
Like they'll never be able to like erase that stain
yeah.
from my memory.
I mean,
fucked
dude,
up.
how do you ruin? Dude, BioWare got so big. So you know, having Star Wars IP, then you're creating your own fucking IP, right? And then just being so big to the point where, kind of circling all the way back to the beginning of this podcast, they were gonna make a Mass Effect movie in 2012.
Yeah.
Like that, it got that big. We were like, we got to do this, and this is something that we're gonna do. And I don't remember exactly what happened. And then all the way to now, where you're like, how did this happen? When we're talking about Star Wars, and it's like, how do you fuck up something this big and something?
With that much lore, with that, it's so much work already done.
Yeah, and then I still kind of scratch my head where I'm like, I
didn't know they were gonna do a Mass Effect movie.
and it was gonna come out like right after the third game.
That would have been a terrible idea, by the way.
Of course it would have. But you know what? In retrospect, I was thinking about when you were saying like about video game movies, and I was thinking if they would have came out with it, I'm sure it would have bombed, and maybe it would have been a teaching moment. And moving forward, at least maybe like Andromeda would have been better because they already had a bomb. And say making Andromeda would be like, all right, we have to recover from this terrible movie.
Maybe.
And things could have been different.
I could see that happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
feel
it's like
that could have been a lesson they learned then.
Yeah.
I don't even know, man. I just think video games just make for better series.
Absolutely.
Oh, sure. 100%.
I just don't know
because three hours is not enough time to
It's
tell the
not.
story of a whole entire video game.
No,
Not at
yeah,
all.
you can't. It's
It's
insane. Like
simple
you
as that.
spend even a game like Halo 3, which is like super light on story, has like 10 missions. That takes like at least 5 hours.
Yeah.
5 hours of like, you know, fucking doing a lot of shit
Intense
to get to
fucking
even
gunplay.
like close to the end. So like, I don't know, man.
No,
it lends itself far better. I think I would be far more excited to see a Mass Effect series on like
absolutely.
Netflix
Whenever-
or like Witcher. That's not like necessarily a game first kind of
This was a
adaptation,
narrative first,
but a lot of the visuals are taken from the game and a lot of the design elements are taken from the game.
For me,
Yeah.
at any time when there is a world that exists already, it would be done better as a show. Because of the fact that to explore the world thoroughly, you need time. You need the time to soak in every part of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine, how are you, like, thinking about Mass Effect, the amount of characters that they have, how would you make that into a movie?
You couldn't.
Yeah, you can't
The Last
include...
Airbender. Last Airbender was the biggest sign.
Just
Last
a
Airbender
loyalty
was-
mission in that. A loyalty mission in Mass Effect 2 would be its own movie.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're so in depth. And it's like, you can't do that. It's
feel you.
impossible, especially with RPGs. RPGs are like the least.
They're literally just stories.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, well, they tried to do that for... they tried to do it for Prince of Persia. They tried to do it for
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal, which is...
Yeah.
I understand for marketing purposes, but still, it's like, oh, man, you guys...
You guys really fucked that one up.
You guys threw the pooch out the window.
Yeah, man. But like this Uncharted movie has gone through like so many directors at this point, and it's like, just make it a show.
Honestly.
I don't want to see... First of all, I don't want to see an Uncharted movie because Uncharted is just Indiana Jones. We already have those movies.
Exactly.
So just make it a show. We don't have an Indiana Jones show.
That's a very
that
good
doesn't
point.
exist.
That's true.
Who do you think would be who would be a good Nathan Drake and a good Sully?
Nathan affiliate Young.
Of course. I was gonna say. He said, well, you fucked by saying young. That
Young.
If he's probably listening to this podcast now, he's all excited and he
I
heard
would.
young,
I mean,
he's
I
like,
would love to
fuck.
see like
Dude,
even.
I'm sorry. He's aged. He's still that guy.
He's still. I think
mean,
he can
even-
still do
He's
it.
still in good shape, and it's like that.
He's
but
definitely older. He's definitely older
aged.
looking. I think they could do an older Nathan Drake though.
Dude, look
I wouldn't
how-
mind seeing that.
Look how good Tom Cruise looked in that atrocious Mummy movie that came out.
That's true.
When they're- like that guy's
The one
like,
that put the trailer out without the sound.
That really happened.
Yeah, they put the trailer out without any of the music, so
Dude.
all you see is like a silent. It's just Tom Cruise in a plane, and he's all silent, and then you just hear like, It's just like all these
Real.
like all this Foley.
That's
100% real. It's it's one of those things where you couldn't make this shit up. You know?
Well, the thing about Nathan Fillion isn't Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is very much so about his stunts. Like, he does that shit. He's in, like, extremely good shape. Like, he does that.
Yeah, I mean, look. Tom Cruise is also stupid for doing that because he stopped production multiple times for getting injured.
Absolutely.
Like that, because he's not Jackie Chan. You know what I mean? Like where he can handle a lot of his stuff, and Jackie Chan would fuck himself up too. But like I remember in the last one movie where he tried to jump and he fucked his ankle up, and it's like, oh great, and we're gonna lose millions of dollars because this.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something bad, but I imagine that there's an essence. He knows everything that's being talked about
absolutely.
him.
I can feel him here. He's here.
Yeah.
He's connected really deeply to that religion. He knows.
He's connected to fucking us. Fuck the religion. He's connected to people.
Who do you think for a Sully though? Who would be a good Sully?
I don't know, man. I don't think it matters that much. Sully.
No.
I think you can get pretty much anybody.
Vesemir from Witcher should be Sully.
Maybe who was in Mark Hamill? I don't know. Anybody. Literally
anyone?
Literally anybody. I can't think of anybody who
Old
wouldn't be
person.
able to play Sully.
I was just thinking. I know he doesn't really fit, but John Lithgow.
I could see that working kind of
work,
okay,
though.
honestly.
I mean, actually, no. I forgot about his work in a Dexter where he's like, I'm evil. Guy,
Yeah, that
and
might
and
work
killed
totally
your
fine.
Fucking chick.
That might be totally well. The problem with a lot of these characters is that they're so defined by their voices.
Yeah.
Like when I hear Sully's
that-
voice, I think
yes.
of Sully.
That is
Like
such
even
a good-
in the Halo show that they're doing on Showtime or whatever the hell. Like they're having somebody play Master Chief, but they're using the dudes.
They have
they're
to.
using Steve Downs' voice. They're
They
not.
have
You can't not do that.
That's
it's
very
such
true.
He
It'd
just
be like
sounds like him.
imagine fucking Marcus Fenix from Gears of War
Oh,
pops
no.
up and he sounds like fucking Jake Gyllenhaal. You'd be like, excuse me,
Who are you?
Dom. Like what the fuck? That's not. You're not Marcus.
Tom.
I fucking love John DiMaggio. He's so good.
great.
He's so good.
Yeah.
I always
He played a really great Joker too. in that,
ridiculously. I love that
which
he
one
did
again?
it in Under the Red Hood.
Oh yeah, it was
Yeah.
him.
Like that was so good, and I love that he didn't just like Troy Baker it, you know? Like Troy
Yeah.
Baker sounds exactly like Mark Hamill, and I'm just like,
Well, in
That's-
fairness, he was supposed to be the same Joker from the same universe in Arkham Origins.
I get it. No, I get it. It's just I get it.
And he did a good job at that.
I'm
Like,
not.
it's
I'm
hard-
not.
it's
No,
not-
he did a
did.
fantastic job. I'm not taking that away from him.
Yeah.
I just like that. Like they didn't tell him to like, hey, try to be like Mark Hamill.
No,
or something.
totally.
I'm not taking that. I didn't say like Troy Baker was like I'm you know.
No.
He was
I know-
supposed
I
to.
know-
He was
yeah.
supposed to.
No, I know what you meant.
Yeah, and but yeah, so I just love that. Like he sounded completely different, and
Yeah.
it completely worked. That was crazy. And then Neil Patrick Harris is Nightwing, which is I like Neil Patrick Harris a lot.
I love that dude. NPH is a badass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know you don't like him in that one shit that
Let
show
me
we were talking
sneak it.
about.
I don't like him in a series of unfortunate events.
That's-
I like him in
that's it.
everything else.
Let
I
me
loved him in.
think it.
Is that his name? In it?
No,
Let me-
No.
Snicket.
He plays Count Olaf in that show. I
That-
like,
that's
but I
sounds
like
right.
Neil Patrick Harris. I like him in that show that he was on that I didn't really watch much of. I liked him in the musical Dr. Horrible.
Yeah.
It's like a classic internet show.
I loved him in those Harold and Kumar movies because
He was
He was
great.
like
He was just him, right? But he was an asshole.
He was like a complete douchebag, and he was just like the most womanizer ever. And like knowing that he's like gay, made it so much better.
Yeah.
because he's just always. It's whatever. When he was there, it was like we have to go get some women. We have to go find
what,
whores.
like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
He took their car. He used Molly, took their car. He gave the guy back money because he said he fucking destroyed his car.
Oh yeah, there's like love stains all in the
Can
back.
you imagine fucking Neil Patrick Harris as Marcus Fenix?
He would be so charismatic. He would be so charismatic as him, but it'd be
No,
like, this is
no. The
weird.
best Marcus Phoenix would be John Lovitz.
John.
That would be.
No, the best.
Can you even do that
No,
voice?
I can't even imagine, like, what that would sound
Michael
like.
Cera as Marcus Phoenix. That'd be hilarious.
That would be disgusting.
Hey guys, Dom.
John Lovitz. I'm
Dom,
trying
we
to
got-
imagine
we
like
got-
what he would like how he would say. It's like,
We got
"Ah,
locusts
come on, Dom. Let's we got to get out of here before the locusts come.
Hey, Tom, we got a bunch of locusts here. Tom, let's get out of here.
Can you do a Norm Macdonald?
As Marcus Fenix.
Yeah.
I could do it.
What? Dom, what the hell are you doing?
Dom,
Get the hell over here, Dom, you fucking idiot.
Dom, what are you, stupid?
Why did you just gonna run yourself and kill yourself? What are you doing?
What are you gonna do? Kill yourself to Mad World, you daft idiot?
What are you?
What are you doing? His voice is so fun to do, it's so like I love that he just played he played a genie on Fairly Odd Parents that was just named Norm.
Yeah, Norm and Genie.
And that was the first time I ever heard him. I was like, it was that, and it's like I don't know if you ever seen Dirty Work.
Yes, I have.
With him and Artie
yes,
Lang.
Great movie.
one of the funniest stupid movies I've ever seen.
It's a great movie.
Chris Farley has half of his nose bitten off.
Yeah, by a Saigon whore.
By a Saigon whore. The scene at the bar where he just turns around and just screams himself to shambles.
Yeah,
is one of my favorite.
It's a great movie. It's definitely one of those throwbacks that don't come up enough. Actually, that's a really really good movie that I'd say what do we get? Millennials, they need to get on that shit.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous, and then like fucking Chris Farley's in it, which is already like makes it great.
Yeah.
Because like everything that he touched was like incredible.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, he was on
Beverly
fire.
Hills Ninja is like I
love that movie.
I saw it again as like an 18-year-old, and I was like, this is so much better than I thought. Like I couldn't even believe how much better it was than when I saw it when I was young. I was like, this is like genuinely like really funny and such a fun thing that I would love to sit down with my kids and be like, hey, let's watch this fucking movie together. Look at Luke Kang's in this movie. It's like fucking. I think that's why I liked it even more too.
Yeah, I love Tommy Boy, although I haven't seen that in a while.
It
might have not been as funny, but like I love Dirty Work. It's just such a fucking
it's good shit.
mess. But my God, so we're at 2 hours.
Oh, shit.
Isn't that wild?
That's insane.
Does not feel like that at all. So we should end here. Hopefully, I don't know what the fuck the thumbnail of this is gonna be. Maybe Nathan Drake eating a bat.
Oh my God, it should be, yeah.
If I can somehow muster up the Photoshop skills to do that. Thank you all for listening to this, whatever this is.
We
really appreciate it. Excited now that we have our own space here permanently.
Hell yeah.
To start maybe making the moves towards getting a proper video set up.
That's the move.
And that's ultimately the goal. I think we have a good space. I already got some sound foam, so it'll sound a lot better. Maybe dress it up with some bullshit.
Yeah.
Put the explosive barrel over there.
Oh yeah.
Give it some flair. But until then, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks to all of our $10 and up patrons: Ethereum, Alex Jones, All Hands on Dick.
Of course.
I love it.
Artie the One Man Party, Balana, BLT the Ace Hunter.
Hunter? The hunter. I'm a hunter. I hunt the hunters.
Brandon Peavy, Carson Jones, Chad, just Chad.
Thanks, Chad.
What's up, Chad?
Corey McNutty,
Corey McNutty.
Daddy Zach, Dangle Blampy, obviously Dangle
What
Blampy.
up?
David Davis, God help you if that's your name.
Davis.
David Davis.
You're so boring. Jesus Christ.
Davis.
Eleazar Nunez, Eric Pfeiffer. I've been saying that wrong the last several episodes. Ginny Hygard, Glendon Cole Simper.
Oh,
That's not real. What is that?
I don't know who knows.
Old Simper.
Intoxicated, Jacob Armstrong, Jantium, Jose Horak. Jesus Christ, so many.
Thank you all. Thank you all so much.
Keep it up.
Yeah, we got. Oh my God, Joshua Millard, Carson Roth, King of Haphazard, Luca Bella, Red Omega, Richter 86, Rashanish, Rusty Cunts, Ryan, Sharlock 93, Sideshow Bob's Body Double, Slumped Mole Studios.
What is that?
That was a good one.
I like that one. That's a great name. Slumped Mole
I'm gonna
Studios.
steal that. That's
That's
stolen.
pretty, I mean, he's already got it.
This meme's been token.
This meme's been token.
Holy
It's
shit.
been token.
Hey, it's probably not copywritten, so get on
Taken for token.
Is there more?
I don't know. No, probably not. Sunny Chan, Starja IBW, The Cosmic Hippie, The Dreamer and His Shadow, Invisible Skeptic, the Spectre Angel, Toby Shoopman, and Triple Question Mark. Thank you all. It's a fucking insane amount of people. It keeps growing. Thank you really all.
We really do appreciate it, guys.
We're going to go,
Absolutely.
and I'm going to go edit this, and hopefully there won't be any more glitches like there were last time.
Yes.
Frustrated the ever-loving hell out of me.
Oh yeah, I was
But,
like, oh shit.
I got so mad. But we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Farewell.
Jenny.
Jenny, you're so big down there, Jenny.